I said you can't master class shit except how to be a degenerate. I hate correct your status type of niggas. They ain't never did that shit, but they out here preaching like they know the way. Type of niggas say he taking charge, but he really in the way. Type of niggas say he taking charge, but he really out of place. If you disingenuous and hateful, I'm telling you I can't fuck with you. Telling me I believe in the mainstream narrative cause you got trust issues. You ain't prove that shit you said, my nigga, you just be virtue sitting. You just be virtue sitting. You ain't prove that you said, you out here panning for cash outs. These niggas be saying dumb shit, these niggas can't go back. He lost his life and gave it to a circle 7, nobody could reach him. He followed some bad advice that he got from a Morris teacher. I know a nigga, he killed himself and nobody even mentions it. The other people, they took their advice, ended up in the penitentiary. Left him out in the cold, had to teach him that bullshit. Talking about he was an Indian, not text, but you really a hypocrite. Really a hypocrite. It's the whole time you out here renting a condominium. You can't master class shit except how to be a degenerate. How do you do that shit?
Yo, Si, you going crazy.
Hey, Lazy, this shit is crazy, fool.
Thought you was my enemy, and I found out you couldn't read. Come on, let's go. I know a nigga who say the real Indians is black. He say that shit with a straight face, but he can't quote a fact. No nigga who can't see the future. He always focus on the past. He always trying to claim to be the first. That ain't never gonna last. He claiming Indian ain't got the blood like this nigga bank crib. He online waste time. That shit don't even make sense. Maybe one day he'll figure it out. Shit, and maybe he won't. Some people don't wanna be saved. You gotta give them what they want. Let's go. Come on. How the hell the earth was flat and the true Europeans black? Can we start with some evidence? No, am I asking too much? This nigga rambling, talk about his family, the true black Pennsylvania did it. I'ma tell you the truth right now, I ain't never seen no proof for the such. I don't know where you got these niggas from, but you need to take it back. I don't know where you got these niggas from, but I hope you got the time. You been misquoting your source all day, that shit don't even say that. That shit don't even say that. You been misquoting that shit all day, that shit don't even say that. They said Abadai had his source, that's a motherfucking fact. You always misquoting that shit, your source don't even say that. These niggas don't read what it say. I'ma tell you right now, they pull the source and won't even read what it say. These niggas be looking so crazy, that shit be all on wax. This nigga be live all day, putting niggas in the back. I waste my time with these cats, cause they can't quote facts. I waste my time with these cowards, putting niggas in the back. He try to flex on the ground, even though he bought them views. These niggas be lying all day, I swear to God they confused. Don't know where we got these niggas from, must be Craigslist. How the else we can accumulate all these low life? Niggas be dead wrong, but swear to God that they so right. Talking about Abraham Lincoln black when he clearly white. You can't read cause that source don't say what you said. I can't waste no time with buddy, he can't comprehend. I can't waste no time with buddy, he don't take his kids. Birds of a feather, they gon' always fly together. That's why there's so many pseudo niggas huddled up. I don't give a fuck about what you say, you a job. Can't get mad at me, don't shoot the messenger. I know a nigga who say the real Indians is black. He say that shit with a straight face, but he can't quote a fact. No nigga who can't see the future. He always focus on the past. He always trying to claim to be the first. That ain't never gonna last. He claiming Indian ain't got the blood like this nigga bank crib. He online waste time. That shit don't even make sense. Maybe one day he'll figure it out. Shit, and maybe he won't. Some people don't wanna be saved. You gotta give them what they want. Let's go. Hey, come here. Your ass funny. They be arguing on the panel, I just sip and scroll. Say you woke, but every post look like a Twitter post. Ain't no movement in this proof, ain't no movement on the floor. They marching attention, they ain't even got no fucking goal. Whole chat full of scholars with a YouTube degree. They be preaching off the net, they don't even be in the streets. They talk about they the lost tribes, but they really just lost they self. Blaming history for the pain that they ain't never felt. 7 deep in a panel, ain't got no source in sight. You said Nathan B. Forrest was Negro, right? We look Lucia up, she related to the natives. Say you stop quoting James Cheddar, boy, we know you faking. How the hell a black man start a white supremacist group? I'ma be honest with you, my nigga, I don't even think you thought that through. Ain't no source behind that talk, it's just a Reddit post. Every quote you drop, my nigga, sound like some shit that you suppose. Say that truth gon' set you free, so why you chain the lies? You the type to see a myth and gon' and amplify. You be talking out your neck, we call that conscious count. This nigga talking about he found Atlantis on a fucking map. I know a nigga who say that the Klan was founded by a group of blacks. I pressed that nigga to show a source, but he ain't got no facts. I swear this nigga's an old dummy and he ignorant. Every time I ask him for a source, it's not legitimate. He the type to read a book, but he's illiterate. I ain't even finna keep going back and forth with all this silly shit. They say fake it till you make it, but he made it just to fake it. Why you try to use an AI picture like I couldn't trace? Why you try to use that picture like I couldn't trace? Talking like you real, my nigga, your shit fabricated. Whole time that shit is myths, nigga, shit simulated. I keep going back and forth, but that shit wasting time. You keep posting all that nonsense like it's sacred text. Every source you quoting getting debunked by the next. How you talking about that truth, my nigga, but you ain't even passed the test? Whole clique full of grifters. Whole clique full of grifters. Nigga, I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with you. Cheap black, I'm out here grifter. I ain't fucking with him. This bitch got my name in his mouth us again. For every day you keep my name in your mouth, bitch, I'm dropping another song. Pussy, this shit easy. Nigga, this the real thing, nigga. You a bitch and you know that, pussy. 007 Guzman, bitch, I'm feeling just like James Bond. Change my name to NPM Dad, nigga, you my real son. I shouldn't have gave your bitch ass attention, nigga, but I'ma still respond. You can't even read and write, my nigga, how you supposed to correspond? These the type of niggas don't got shit except a name drop. I'm the only one keeping your old ass relevant like GameStop. You a bitch and you tryna hide your true colors like a paint shop. Nigga, you a lame, and you fat, and you corny. How many times I gotta tell you, nigga, you really just getting annoying. You don't never put in work, my nigga, you need to file for unemployment. Who the fuck you think you is, my nigga, you really not that important. Had to leave him in the past, had to leave a nigga right where I hadn't found him at. Old ass nigga washed up, that's why I call that boy a laundromat. And Graham Hancock called, nigga, he said he want his info back. I heard you produce breast milk, my nigga, you really fucking fat. You know you can't prove shit, nigga, you just a fat bitch. Feeling like future, cause nigga, ain't no way around it. Nigga, you talking spice, I'm getting the belt and gone and ground him. You better stay in your place, but nigga, if I put your ass on punishment, I think he an informant, my nigga, he working for the government. Think that nigga is cap as fuck, my nigga, he ain't even on shit. This the same nigga that got his YouTube channel taken down. This the same nigga that's buying views like it's going out of style. Nigga, you a fat dyke. Nigga, you better eat a Klondike. Nigga steady chasing clock cause he wanna be inside the limelight. All that nigga do is play Tyree Nasheed videos. All you do is chase clout, pussy, and you been a hoe. Nigga always passing up on the debate, he think he Tony Romo. Nigga, you just a mouthpiece for the white man, I call him Andrew Cuomo. And I heard you a sloppy pseudo, nigga, tell me something I don't know. Nigga, you a bitch and I'm telling you that I've been new. I don't give a fuck about you, nigga, I thought you knew that. That's why don't nobody come to your panels, nigga, you been washed up. Mic check. Let me make sure everything on all cylinders is slapping. Let me see. 007 Goodman, bitch, I'm feeling like James Bond. Change my name to NPM Dad, nigga, you my real son. That nigga AP, boy. That nigga in love with the kid. So what's up? What they do this morning, man? I ain't gonna have niggas in there bit waiting for a million years. We're gonna keep it with the light rooms. I'm not putting Aboriginals in my titles no more. The closest thing you can get to Abo in your title would be brain rot, fatigue. So we're gonna be dodging a lot of Abo just due to the simple fact of the title. Gotta stay swift. You feel me? So nigga gonna keep all of the headaches out the chat, out the classroom. I figured it out. Now that I done hit my numbers, right? I don't need no knuckleheads around this bitch. If you're a knucklehead, nigga, just stay in the bushes. So I don't even gotta put Abo nothing. I don't gotta put Aboriginal nothing. I don't want to put Indian nothing. If you niggas want to be around, stay in the bushes. I'm done. I'm dead off them conversations. That shit give a nigga a headache. I was sitting over there on Q Butter channel listening to they had a conversation yesterday talking about is Pan-Africanism dead? I think he's just trying to get the crowd over there because this is the conversation that niggas is having right now. Pan-Africanism versus Aboriginalism and all this goofy shit, right? So they had a little decent conversation talking about what was the downturn in this Pan-Africanism shit. Basically like this, because it really what it turned into was like talking about who the biggest grifter was and who the biggest scammer was. You know what I'm saying? So because grifting and scamming has been placed on really black consciousness, period. All of that shit got a black eye. So, you know what I'm saying? Niggas was making fun of Umar last night, but it's really the black conscious sector as a whole. They consider the black conscious sector as a scam sector. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm in the crypto space, it was one dude I met when I was in the, it was a bunch of them that I met that like had used to watch um content from the conscious community. What they do, Augusta, Georgia in the building, what they do. But it was like three different conversations I had with niggas over there. They let me know um this content space was being held back. And I came into this space telling these niggas this information. Like when I first started talking to AP and them niggas, they was first of all trying to distance themselves from being in so-called the conscious community. And I had to let them niggas know, like, bro, y'all in the same space. This is black conscious community shit. Even though y'all think y'all Indians, y'all in the same space. And the people that used to watch this, they don't no longer watch it because they call it grifting, they call it scamming, and they say this shit is it's all fake, right? I was talking to one nigga over there in the crypto space. He was like, yeah, I used to watch Black Magic 363, but man, them niggas just be over there talking bullshit. And so, you know what I mean? That's like, so niggas have a word, niggas have what you call it, a reputation out here. The conscious space, the black power space, it has a reputation on the internet for being scam likely and being grift adjacent, right? That's just what a nigga gathered, you know what I'm saying? And I was really trying to fight for the community when I was over there in crypto. I was trying to bring the crypto spaces over there, right? I was trying to merge the black power conscious shit with the crypto shit. And them niggas was like, man, that shit ain't gonna work over here, bro. Like them niggas was telling me that. They're like, bro, that shit ain't gonna work. Them niggas be saying anything, and this shit just is boring. Niggas gotta up their product value. So I brought that information over. You know what I'm saying? I think I even said it on a Garfield panel one time because I only been on these other sectors, like all these different panels. I try to keep my shit um in certain places, right? So I've only been on I've never been on an Unk panel. I've only been on Sanetta's channel when they was arguing with Aboriginals one time. The next time I tried to get on Sanetta's channel, clearly he had got some indicator that I was one of the top ops of the Abos, so he left me in the back for 30 minutes and I never went back over there again. What type of nigga do I look like to sit in the back for 30 minutes when I know a nigga see me up here? So I don't go over there, right? Let me get this started real quick. I gotta go check on my son. Just fighting back, and we find instances of, and we talk about, and we highlight slavery.
So let me. Yeah, let me go get. I gotta go get him. He being silly early. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Let me play some of this content that I didn't finish yesterday. This is from the conversation between me, Yodi.
They're intelligent people, so don't.
Mean cigarettes. You know that.
Nah, you good, Marky? Then I just thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
And you supporting my point. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I just thought it was funny. I thought that joke was hilarious. But hey, I do got a question though, man. Cause I've been listening. I've been in and out, but I do like when Yodi get his pseudo babble off. But Yodi, I do got a
What up,
question for
Lucky?
you.
Lucky, what up, my nigga?
What makes you feel like Pan Africanism is victimhood? Can you break it down for me?
Because and this is respectfully, bro. No disrespect to Pan Africans. They're intelligent people, so don't take anything what I'm saying wrong. Because I know where you're about to go, right? Let me say that first. Disclaimer, right? Now, let me answer your question. Because the reason why I say that, because Pan Africans are using a historical shit that never happened. To say that so let me use an example. You're saying that your great, if not you, Lucky, but I'm saying it, I'm generalizing, right? Any Pan African that say that your great, grandparents was raped, robbed, put on a ship, stacked on top of each other, came over from another continent to another continent, and that's how we got here. That's the victimhood, bro.
Okay. So the story behind Africans being in the transatlantic slave trade, you would assume that is a victim story. You say that the people that was in the trade,
Based on the narrative,
yeah, based on the
Based
narrative.
on the narrative, yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. So again, that's a lot of reasons why I think we be having a lot of discourse when we be talking, and it be getting so contentious, right? Because a lot of times, the not a coincidences, the true historians, we try to show Black Americans in a positive light, right? Regardless of the quote unquote narrative. So that's why we find instances where the Congolese is fighting back, and we find instances of, and we talk about and we highlight slave revolts, and we highlight the fact that the only reason why these white folks was even okay with trying to get rid of this shit was because niggas was fucking up everything. Niggas was raiding plantations, niggas was killing white folks, niggas was fucking up money. So the only and to the point where Abraham Lincoln said, once we get these niggas free, let's send their ass to motherfucking Mexico. Just get them out the paint. So for that whole little concept of Pan-Africanism being victimhood, I think that what people are taking as a victim mentality is the people who use slavery as their entire story. And I got a problem with that as well. You see what I'm saying, Yodi? I
hear you.
I don't like that type because like I come from the crypto space where like, before I ever talked to any of you niggas, I used to go back and forth. I used to sell my content and I used to talk crypto, and we used to discuss what was going to be the next wave. And I used to deal with the same shit in that space with Black people who used to hold Twitter spaces and try to guilt trip white people into buying their artwork just because they're Black. And I hated that shit. I'm like, nobody give a fuck if you're a Black creator and you made the first Black NFT. Bitch, if it's garbage, I'm not buying it. So, like I said, I don't. That to me would be victimhood, or it'd be a victim mentality. But I don't see that as Pan-Africanism. I see that as people who using the slave trade as their identity.
And that's victimhood, look. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's not a Pan-African actually talks about fighting, right? Everybody that I know that's a Pan-African has become a lazy term for anybody who think that they people come out.
Can I interject for 1 second, bro? Let me ask you a question on that. What you just talking right now, right? You said Pan-Africans is based on Pan-African ideology as a whole. I'm not saying specifically. Of course, there's little everybody that are not. Just like everybody on the I'm not an abo. People put me in the abo community, right? Luck, but I don't speak for abos. So what I mean is, even though we have this, we agree. My ideology agrees with abo ideology. Whatever I say, I'm not speaking for the generalization of the abo community. You see where I'm going with this? So my point is this, right? if I say when I say Pan Africans is victimhood, right? It's a generalization, bro. Right? Yes, individuals may have different ideologies on their Pan Africanism. I'm just using that term loosely, right?
Damn, I was on mute like a bitch. Appreciate that. EIE. Appreciate that. I was on super mute. Stop laughing, babe. You think that shit funny? I was on mute like a bitch. So then what was I saying? So this the reason why I brought this back half of the conversation up is because this leads into my brain rot fatigue segment. Right. I didn't finish this yesterday because of the connection issues. But when I had the conversation with Yodi, he 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 laid out clear as day why I don't need to be arguing with these dudes. It's a psychological thing that niggas haven't dealt with from childhood. So once I found that out, or once it was crystallized, because I kind of felt that way, but I didn't want to charge nobody with that. But once that was crystallized, I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the last time I have an interaction where I'm trying to go back and forth about what a nigga believe. Because these people, what this is combating when they do this fake Indian history, this is combating the internalized depression that niggas fought their whole entire life. This is their this is the side effect of it, right? This is a side effect of growing up and people calling names. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, people saying to you, you come from shithole countries. Growing up, niggas talking about Africa ain't dead shit. Growing up, niggas calling each other African booty scratch. This is a side effect of all of that shit, that trauma that a nigga never got healed from. Nigga never did the leg work to get over that type of shit. So now I'm online with you and I'm talking to you about the true history of the Black American, and you telling me we're Indians. And this is your way to combat the slave narrative that you felt shame behind. You couldn't find the strength in your people. You couldn't find the truth in the details, right? Because it's always truth in the details. Motherfuckers get these stories, or they get these broad brushes, and they paint over the entire world history. But the truth is in the details. So niggas will tell you all day long, oh, all the government do is push propaganda. All they do is lie to you. But then they'll turn around and internalize all that same quote unquote lies that they already acknowledge as lies, but they use it to fuel why they don't like Africa or why they are anti themselves. So that's why I say it's an internalized oppression thing, because you smart enough and you conscious enough to realize people lie on news. People in government tell half truths. You smart enough to recognize that, but you're not smart enough to recognize they told a half truth to you about the conditions of Africa. They told you a half truth of how your ancestors got here and fought back. They don't tell you the whole story, nigga, because that's the point. They need a demoralized Negro. They need somebody who's gonna play into the agendas that they got, you know what I'm saying, set up for niggas. They want you to be a victim, like niggas say, and they want you to lash out and be not accountable for your emotions. So they want niggas to be angry, they want niggas to feel oppressed, and they want you to feel shame from your story rather than teaching you the real, teaching you all the greatness, teaching you how nigga from the time you got over here to right now, they've been trying to sabotage every single thing you ever did. So nigga, we see it every day how they try to sabotage the greats. This is what they do, right? They sabotaging legacies and shit like that. But niggas don't put two and two together. They just internalize the oppression and then they come online and they fight with you because you recognize who you are and you recognize the strength of your story. I don't gotta go back and forth about that. That's what I said. So this conversation was really like the closing chapter for me, right? It made the most sense after I had this conversation with Yodi why I should never do this again with y'all. Let me see if I can speed it up to the end when I crashed out.
But all I'm saying is that don't mean that it doesn't stem from a victimhood situation where the history of African or Pan-Africanism is based on, I'm paraphrasing right now, pale-skinned people kidnapping your or black, let's say black people, taking their people from a whole nother continent, which is Africa, beating them, whipping them, starving them, chaining them, put them on a ship, 200 stacked up like Stardy. Isn't that victimhood, bro? Yes or no?
It's not at all. The way that you're describing it and to take the position.
No. Wait.
Listen to what I'm saying. The way that
that's not how I'm describing it.
Yes, it
that's
is how
I
you
learned it in school, and I'm pretty
that's
sure
how you
everybody else learned that shit in school.
That's how you describe it, and that's a part of these conversations. And it's good that you expressing it. No, it is, but it's good that you expressing this because we need this stuff. This got to get in the airways. We got to understand why niggas is thinking and talking how they're talking. So this is something that you internalized from what you was taught back in the G. You felt like what they was teaching you was some subservient type shit. You felt like your people was being misrepresented, and you felt shame from that.
Let me ask you something.
I know that.
Is it safe to say that you felt shame from that?
Can I ask
Why
you
would I
something?
not feel shame from that, bro? Look, come on.
I'm just asking the question.
Let me ask a question.
All right, go ahead.
Lucky. So out of the stories you be catching and the stories you be going on saying this someone slaved someone or whatever. But in the historical research that you read yourself, you don't see who the slavers are throughout history, or the Berbers, the Ottomans, the indigenous of this land putting shit out. This is an historical reading. But you'll come with some little article or some little fable story that this one white man or two white mans with a boat brought over millions of niggas, and it don't make sense. What happened to the white slavery? Where's that history at? What happened to them people? Where them people at? Millions.
So you see what I'm saying? So their characterization of the transatlantic slave trade is cartoonish, right? They've internalized all of the negative aspects of it, and turned it into a cartoon version of itself. So niggas saying shit like, how did one or two white people bring a million Africans over here? Obviously it's not one or two, and obviously it's not a million, but you're making these arguments cartoonish by leaving out the real details and just painting a blanket brush over your misinformation to hide from what you're really trying to heal from, right? To hide what niggas is really going through. So he's saying all of this, and he brings up white Barbary oppression or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell him in this conversation, which I'm gonna speed to the end, because as you can see, we're at the 8-minute mark. This is a 38-minute clip. So for roughly 30 minutes, we're arguing, we're yelling and screaming and doing all this shit. When I asked one question, all I asked was, what classifies Pan-Africanism as victimhood? I asked the nigga one question, and Yodi gave me the answer. Yodi said, the fact that your people went through slavery, that was what I was taught in school, and that brought me shame, and that's victim. That is victimhood mentality. That's what he said. So I told the nigga, no, that's not. the way that you just described slavery, you describing it from a victim's perspective. You're not that you didn't look at our own story from our own perspective. You didn't get into the weeds with this shit. And so then this other guy brings up, well, why don't you ever talk about white slavery? So I asked him, I'm speeding this up because this took way too long. I asked the nigga, I told him first of all, I said, bro, because the Barbary slave trade doesn't have nothing to do with the Americas. Because he was bringing this up as a way to combat, saying that they actually said that the slave trade was capped and the real slave trade was the Barbary slave trade, right? This is what this conversation went to for 30 minutes. And I told the nigga, why did you derail my conversation where I'm trying to figure out the victimhood concept into talking about fake history again? And then I asked him, I said, are you trying to force white slavery in the Americas to combat black slavery as a way to boost your self-esteem? That's what I asked the nigga, slap out. I said, bro, does a white person being enslaved in America somehow boost your self-esteem? He says no. So I said, bro, why are you bringing this up if it has no if it doesn't belong in this realm? We're trying to figure out what is a victimhood mentality and why somebody will have self-esteem issues based on the slave trade. You bringing up white people being enslaved means you would feel better about yourself if the whites was enslaved over here. That's the direct correlation. And niggas was arguing me down for 30 minutes about that. So let me speed it up and get to the last like 5 minutes of this. I'm working together. Regardless of if you don't identify as black, the whole point of the CIA is to stop blacks from working together. Hold up, bro. That's what I'm saying. Bro. And then the reason why I be saying I didn't bring up the Pan African show because I don't even identify or push my premise that way, bro. I'm a left wing Pan African sympathizer. I fuck with the government shit.
Nah, you definitely do. You definitely do because you gave me a chance. So I would not, you know what I'm saying? I already know. I'm not even speaking that you just throw away the baby with the bathwater. I'm not even saying that. When bro. And that's vice versa. We call out the dumb shit with y'all too. I mean, but for Pan-Africanism. We call out y'all call out the dumb shit.
It ain't even. It's consequences for me and not D. So let me show you how that is, right? So with my debate with Cosmon, do you know that Sean P reviewed my debate? And do you know that Sean P was very critical of my style in my debate?
You know that.
Do you know that Sean P walked down different angles like, oh, Lucky, you should have captured this moment. Lucky, you should have took it here. Lucky, I know you had this source. Why you ain't bring this out? This. You know what I'm saying? He critiquing the
nigga. You think the Abos don't do that? You think the Abos don't do that because y'all do that?
Yes, we do that.
Hold on, right.
We all do that, bro. Look.
So again, he sound like an Irish motherfucker. Your mother. I always stood my ground. Who the fuck?
Bro, I'm the youngest nigga on this panel. I be having the most.
I'm talking about just observation. Hold on.
He's intelligent.
Lucky was on one mode of information at one point in time.
No big deal.
He came in on another point of information, and he went on another point of information. He did a lot of flip flopping of my.
So the dude Naughty, right, was all having a conversation, and this is what these guys attempt to do. It's always to try to assassinate a nigga's character because they cannot handle what I'm talking. Right, when I'm talking real and legitimate, having real conversations with niggas, when I'm having a real conversation with niggas, then they try to go to the personal shit and be lying. So the nigga Naughty says, I seen you come into the community. I seen you flip-flop between 3 different ideologies. You want to know how I know this nigga's a liar? I've had conversations on the back office with Naughty, right? Only thing Naughty knows about me is shit that I tell everyone. I had a conversation before I started telling everybody I used to be an Aboriginal in 2015. I told Naughty. We was in the back office. Niggas was having a bunch of shit back when Ab TV and all that shit was cracking off when the Ab TV was trying to call me a scammer because I did not acquiesce to him and his fake wife trying to make me create a whole app for $500. I told the nigga, no, we ain't doing that. So when they try to push the scam narrative on the nigga, I was in the back with Naughty, and I was like, no, yo, Naughty, because it was one of them panels where it rolled over until the nigga ended the stream. And I said, Naughty, you be over there with Ab TV, bro. Why do you allow them niggas to call me scammer and all this type of shit when you know I ain't that type of nigga? And he was like, well, brother, I really don't know you from this, this, and that, but it do seem like you know a lot of the Aboriginal teachings. So I literally had a whole conversation with this nigga offline. I told the nigga, bro, back in the G, I used to be an Aboriginal. When I started interacting with y'all, I thought y'all niggas was black people who thought that blacks and Indians mixed. When I found out y'all niggas was anti-black and anti-Indian, I started to talk to y'all niggas. When I first started seeing y'all content, I thought y'all niggas was black people who wanted to you know what I'm saying, show they Indian ties. Then I realized, oh no, this is that Aboriginal shit that I used to believe from back in the G. So I'm telling the nigga off the rip, I'm giving niggas my origin story. So now you trying to re-give my origin story and you trying to add nuance to it that doesn't exist. I tell niggas all the time, and I have video evidence of this because I don't have to lie. In 2014, in 2015, and in 2016, I was extremely pseudo. The first time I ever seen a Sinetta video was 2013. That was the first time I ever seen a Sinetta video. And I didn't start watching the nigga like a whole bunch. I seen a video, it came across my timeline because I was watching Malcolm X speeches. And for whatever reason, Ali Muhammad debate came up or some shit like that. So I seen Ali Muhammad having a conversation on Sinetta's channel. Fast forward, that fucked up my algorithm to where I'm in college, and now and when I'm in college, I'm in the dorm rooms and I'm seeing Sinetta videos. I'm in the dorm rooms, I'm seeing different like videos about what's my nigga Farrakhan. I used to watch Farrakhan videos in the dorm room in Nebraska. Imagine how crazy I used to look. I'm in the middle of Nebraska. It's 30 niggas in my town. 26 of them play on the football team. The other 4 run track. And we got one light-skinned nigga who play basketball. That's the entire black population in Kearney, Nebraska, nigga. I'm in the middle of college. I'm in a college town in the middle of Whiteville. And I'm watching Farrakhan videos all hours of the night in the dorm room. I'm going to the child hall with my book bag on with my speakers, and if I ain't listening to Young Dolph, you know what I'm saying, on some preach, then I'm listening to Farrakhan call a white man out his name and all that type of shit. That's what I was on. That's what led me into this sector. Like I said, me watching all them videos fucked up my algorithm to the point where they started just throwing Sinetta and everybody in the black conscious sector in my space. So by 2014, 2015, nigga, I've already been introduced to the Ali Muhammads, the Rob Bournes, the brother Smalls, the Herman Smalls. I'm already introduced to Blue Pill, Red Pill, Black Magic 363, Phil Valentine. All that shit I'm introduced to them niggas in 2014. By 2015, Young Pharaoh and all them niggas hitting the scene. I was fucking with SETI. SETI was probably my favorite nigga over there. So I'm seeing all of that shit, but all that shit is in my headphones. I'm still a young nigga. I'm still out here doing my thing. I'm still trying to go to the club. I'm still trying to hit all the parties. I'm still trying to sell ounces. I'm still doing all this regular shit that a young person who's off track is doing. But I'm listening to this type of shit, right? So when I'm telling Nadi this shit, I'm telling everybody this. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas, I used to be y'all. I used to think about all this goofy shit and think it was real. But I got forward with my life, nigga. I got forward with I moved into a different realm that I started to question my research methodology. I started to realize, hey, bro, to be a black man in this space, and I was in college at the time. So I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna be a statistic, right? I'm not gonna be some stereotypical nigga. I'm gonna go against the grain and I'm gonna lift up this black conscious shit. So I went full-fledged, started trying to learn all my African history. I tried to learn about all the different African civilizations. I tried to learn about all the black shit we went through. I tried to learn about all of that shit, right? So I'm sitting back, I'm gathering all my information, and it led me away from that Aboriginal bullshit. Because when I'm looking into the black liberation movements, when I'm looking into all the great shit that we got accomplished, it had nothing to do with being an Indian. We had people that mixed and all this and that. So that's why I left the conversation, right? That's why I left the conversation. So that's how it came. That's how it came about. So while I'm giving a nigga my origin story, niggas are secretly trying to put this in the vault so they can craft it, right? So they can make it seem like, oh, Lucky was an Aboriginal and then Lucky became a Pan-African. So no, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. I believed that the black people were the true Indians before Aboriginal power ever went live. By the time Aboriginal power went live, I thought that shit was goofy. I thought anybody believing that shit was stupid. So I could never be a part of that community because I never came in the game with them. I was here. I was around here before that.
My
Hold up, wait.
observation
Break
that
that down.
Lucky's been in a
Yo, Lucky, how old are you, bro?
Break that down. Hold up. Hey,
made no sense. And who else made
The
the
age
outside
gap, 'cause
looking
you
in?
young.
No,
You
you young. You
used to be I was your age. I was 28 years old. In
this the
Jamaica,
one
bro,
thing
this
that
is 1700.
I
My
don't know.
family still got that. I got videos of my mother walking around the
nobody's saying
land.
that.
Atlantic
Like,
slave trade.
he's trying to learn, but his youngness,
I'm not
he's a
trying to
young
learn.
guy. He's a young adult. So that eagerness, that fire in him.
How my
I think I'm trying to come
you
up here
try
and
to
learn
fight for
about it
Irish buck.
myself. I
Give
try
you
to
This is a
figure
more
out
classic
why every single
he's
day.
trying to give you
Niggas
more
talking
sight
all
on
day
different
long.
of the elder
studies.
versus the younger. The younger
Hey,
Trying
how
to
generation
much
give
we
you
got in the
versus
more,
bank,
the
bro?
older
Let me just
generation.
get my little shit off.
Now
I'm
he's
finna
the
done.
older
Hey,
generation,
Truzo, how much
Lucky
we
the
got in the
younger
bank?
generation. And this is a classic example of what's going on in our
Go
Truzo,
ahead.
society.
I
give me how
can
much
listen.
we
You
got in
ain't got
the
to
bank.
put me in the back, spend your
Nah,
money,
y'all
bro.
niggas
I
been
can't.
talking and talking. I was trying to be up here for 40 max, nigga. But we keep derailing the conversation for you niggas' emotions.
Lucky. You're getting
Man,
emotional,
go on in
bro.
the back. Give me and Truzone. Let me get 3 minutes apiece. Or 2 minutes apiece. I can't even goddamn get my little shit off and
You're
walk
gonna get
off.
up.
You niggas
You
talking and
can
talking.
get it off. Say what you're saying. You've been saying it.
Yo, Nadi, just mute your mic. Let him get his shit off, bro.
Again, I didn't come up here to learn about myself from you niggas. I didn't come up here to learn no information. I'm dead off the. I got
Let the
Apple
young
TV.
man
Hey, Timmy, where
express
you at? Put
his
these niggas in the bag.
fire. Pause.
I'm done. I got Apple fatigue. I'm tired of going back and forth with you niggas every fucking day about dumb shit. I came up here and I was trying to figure out why you doing it every day, right? Because I know what I was doing it for, and it no longer meets my qualifications for doing shit. So I said I'm not doing shit no more. But let me ask this nigga, because since he talking about victimhood, maybe this will make me understand why these is doing this every day. And that's all it did for me. But instead of trying to build on that conversation with my nigga Marky Dan, who I just met, and trying to get y'all opinion, you niggas turn it back into a me versus you Pan-African origin story theory.
That's cap.
And niggas started, that's exactly what happened, because niggas started talking about they gonna debunk it with white folks. Who gives a fuck if whites or blacks? We talking about us, nigga. But that's the point I was trying to figure out. And it made sense to me when you said what said, but I thought I could dialogue with you back and forth about it. But you niggas want to talk about Pan-Africanism all day. So just go for it. It's gonna be another Pan-African up here that's gonna be ready to fight you niggas. I'm off
My
that.
guy, ain't nobody saying
You
nothing
fight.
about
Don't wait
Pan-Africanism
for
but
another
you.
That shit
Pan-African to
boring.
fight.
You niggas want to
Lucky.
fight like
You
ideology.
just brought that,
You
bro.
fight.
You just said let's bring it
You're
back to
gonna
Pan-Africanism.
fight, nigga.
I'm
Don't
not
wait for
fighting the
another
political
Pan-African to come up and
affiliation of
fight
this
Can I
you.
get
event.
it? Can
Fight
someone
right
else get a
now.
word in?
I'm off this, bro. I'll try to put y'all in the back. So like I told him, I'm done off that. You feel me? I'm done off that. All right, flush the toilet, buddy. Flush the toilet, buddy. So yeah, I'm done off that, bro. But the conversation I had made the most sense. Let me run it back like 30 seconds. Dozy, what are you talking about in the chat? Enunciate yourself. But instead of trying to build on that conversation with my nigga Marky Dan, who I just met, and trying to get y'all opinion, you niggas turn it back into a me versus you Pan-African origin story theory.
That's cap.
And niggas started, that's exactly what happened, because niggas started talking about they gonna debunk it with white folks. Who gives a fuck if whites or blacks? We talking about us, nigga. But that's the point I was trying to figure out. And it made sense to me when you said what you said, but I thought I could dialogue with you back and forth about it. But you niggas want to talk about Pan-Africanism all day. So just go for it. It's gonna be another Pan-African up here that's gonna be ready to fight you niggas. I'm off
My
that.
guy, ain't nobody saying
You
nothing
fight.
about
Don't wait
Pan-Africanism
for
but
another
you.
That shit
Pan-African to
boring.
fight.
You niggas fight
You
like
just brought that Bro, you
fight.
just said let's bring it
Get the
back to
gun,
Pan
nigga.
Africanism.
Fight, nigga.
I'm
Don't
not
Hold
wait for
on,
for no
no
hold
political
on.
Pan-African to come up here and
affiliation with
fight.
this
Can I get
image.
it? Can someone else get a word in?
I'm off this, bro. I'll try to put y'all in the back. So like I told that nigga, I say, bro, I'm off that.
Oh my God, leave him alone.
Yeah, I told the nigga, I say I'm off that. Will he leave the cat alone? Where's he at? Well, you need to keep your eyes on him then. Well, then close the door. Close the door then. He shouldn't be in there with you.
Stop making everything my fault.
Oh my God, you are freaking.
It's annoying.
All right, hold up 1 second. Let me load this video up. Let me pivot to the political side real quick.
Why was Amazon paying me $29,000 a month, $54,000 a month?
And so have you reviewed those where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
I said
I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay, I got to move on here.
When an FBI director admits he hasn't personally reviewed the interview reports, then still insists there are no names, that's not oversight, that's a dodge. And today you're going to watch Congress call it out in real time.
So I've got 4 documents I'd like to introduce into the record. The first one is Jeffrey Epstein's 6 story played out for years in plain sight. And Acosta is quoted in here saying, I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. The second document is entitled, What Epstein's Bodyguard Warned About His CIA Connections. The third document is from Fox Digital. It's titled, Epstein's Private Calendar Reveals Planned Meetings with Obama Admin Official, CIA Chief. And the last document is Wall Street Journal article that highlights Ehud Barak's 36 meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He was the former Prime Minister of Israel and head of military intelligence for Israel. It may have held that title when he met Epstein, and then, yes.
Without objection, the gentleman will hold for a second. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one UC request. This is Judge Engelmeyer's decision from August in U.S. versus Epstein, stating the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files dwarfs the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials.
Without objection, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, you've seen most of the files, who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself? You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007, and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019 sex trafficking indictment, which produced many things, including a series of FD 302 documents. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to, victims including minors, such as Virginia Roberts Giuffre, may she rest in peace. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. We know these people exist in the FBI files, the files that you control. I don't know exactly who they are, but the FBI does. Have you launched any investigations into any of these people, and have you seen these 302 documents?
Sir, I have asked my FBI agents to review the entirety of the Epstein files and bring forth any credible information. And we're working with Congress not only to divulge that information and produce it to you, but any investigations that arise from any credible investigation will be brought. There have been no new materials brought to me launching a new indictment.
So is the loophole here, or is it your assertion that these victims aren't credible, that the 302s maybe didn't produce credible statements that rise to a probable cause?
It's not my assertion, sir. It's the assertion of two different United States attorneys' offices from 3 separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the 302 documents in the FBI's possession?
They reviewed all that, yes, sir.
And so have you reviewed those 302 documents where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
I said
I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay, I got to move on here. Were you present when the AG had the White House event when she released the binders to the social media influencers?
I was, yes.
So if you're willing to meet with social media influencers who stood to benefit from the sensational and sad stories of these victims, will you meet with the victims as well?
The FBI will meet with anyone who has new information.
Will you personally meet with them?
The FBI and the professionals who are handling the cases will.
Were you instructed that it was important to release the documents to the Oversight Committee on the day of my introduction of the discharge petition to release these files?
I don't know what day that was, so no.
Well, they were released that day, and there were victims' names who weren't redacted because they were in such a rush, and the victims are not happy about that. Have you investigated any of the CIA connections? Have you seen the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein? And if you wanted to see it, would they show it to you?
Well, I can speak for the FBI, and that's presumed as a CIA case file, and I've reviewed everything that the interagency, not I, the FBI, that was provided to us.
Would you be willing to look at the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein?
If there is such a file, and
Brilliant. Brilliant. So shout out to Thomas Massey, because Thomas Massey was one of the ones who kept his foot on Cash Patel's neck. And I got Cash Patel fatigue, right? I just want to let it be known. I definitely have Cash Patel fatigue. The FBI director, it might go down in history as the worst. He might go down as the worst director ever. He's gonna go down as the worst ever. What's up, Willie? Watch daddy's cord too, buddy. He's gonna go down as the worst ever. Okay. So Thomas Massey is asking him questions, and he's clearly omitting and overtly lying. So Thomas Massey, this is from when Cash Patel was called to the Senate floor way back in maybe July, right? This is way back in July. So Thomas Massie is asking him very clear questions. Okay, are there co-conspirators? Are you looking at all the documents? Would you be willing to look at a CIA document? And he's saying like everything we have is everything we've reviewed, and there's no co-conspirators, right? You remember that's what he said, right? You remember that's what he said. So the great thing, the beauty about the internet and the beauty about this shit we call um social media is that niggas aren't letting you get away with it, Cash. Niggas aren't letting Pam Bondi get away with it. That's why Dan Bongino already resigned. Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, they made their bones on talking about the Epstein files. Clip after clip of Cash Patel saying the only reason he hasn't been prosecuted yet is because of government malpractice. And saying that the FBI is sitting on the documents and that if he was the FBI director, the first day he will release all the documents. Well, he's been the FBI director for well over 100 days now. And the documents were not initially released until, I don't know if the people is aware of this, but the Jeffrey Epstein Files Act. Yes, they had to come up with an act to force these motherfuckers to drop the files. Okay, do you know what this shit is called? It's called the Epstein Files Transparency Act. So you rode the coattail of everybody who was talking about Jeffrey Epstein and the pedophile sex ring. You rode that coattail all the way into the White House. And then you get into the White House and we have to drop the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which mandates the release of all unclassified documents related to Jeffrey Epstein's criminal activities, aiming to provide public access to information and his case and associated individuals. So you're telling me that on November 19th, you're trying to tell me on November 19th, they had to pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act to get some type of information on November 19th. What's today? December 31st. They are still slowly but surely releasing documents. So, Willie, if you don't know how to play the game, we're taking it off the tablet. So Epstein, right? Mind you, before he got locked up, or before he was unalived, it was already known that we assumed he had co-conspirators. These documents that was released, they were released with tools that were redacted very amateurly, to the point where people were writing little code. People were just asking ChatGPT to write a little code for them so they could redact or unredact a lot of these files. And what you found out was Trump's name was all over the place. They were redacting co-conspirator names. They were redacting potential targets names, and all of this stuff was done to protect Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene left MAGA because Trump wouldn't release the files. She had a phone call with the phone call finally came out. She had a phone call with Trump, in which she asked Trump, can he release some of these names of some of these co-conspirators? And Trump started yelling and screaming at her, talking about he gonna protect his friends. Meanwhile, niggas is sitting around arguing about if niggas is from America. That shit don't fucking matter. That shit don't fucking matter, right? They redacted files that you could easily unredact. Let me see if this video, they get into that part. Yeah, let me speed this up. Let me matter of fact, go ahead. I'm gonna get this last 4 minutes off, and then I'm gonna bring it up to speed about the documents that they do have, because my nigga Jew dropped a real good video yesterday. And shout out to Jew Almighty. I gotta keep subbing. I gotta keep plugging his channel, just like I did with Antonio Talks, and just like I did with Young Don Reacts. I fuck with all three of their content. I support black content creators who have a purpose and who talk about shit that's real and that matters.
Right, thank you. I yield back.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, let's slow that down because what you just watched is how institutions protect powerful people without ever saying the word, we're protecting powerful people. First, the setup. The congressman is stacking headlines into the official record, CIA connections, intelligence whispers, calendars, meetings, basically building a big neon sign that says, this wasn't just some random rich creep operating alone. Then he pivots to the real meat, those FBI interview reports, FD 302s. And his point is pretty simple. You can't hide behind old warrant limits from 2006 and 2007 when there was a 2019 case in a totally different district. So, where are the names? And what does the FBI director do? He doesn't say, yes, I reviewed them. He doesn't say, no, they don't exist. He does the third thing, the politician's favorite thing. He speaks in fog. We asked agents to review. We'll follow credible leads. Multiple administrations looked at it, which sounds responsible, until you remember the moment that should end the conversation right there. He admits he hasn't personally reviewed the 302s. Think about how insane that is. You're the director. You're testifying to Congress. You're telling the Senate there's no credible information that anyone else was involved, but you haven't personally looked at the key interview documents people are talking about. That's not confidence. That's a talking point. And here's the part that should make your skin crawl. The congressman asked about a White House event where binders were handed to social media influencers, people who profit off sensationalism, while the victims, according to him, are left frustrated and their names were even exposed because it was rushed. So let me get this straight. The system can move fast when it's a PR moment, but gets real careful when it's accountability. Then comes the CIA question, and notice the language. It's all conditional, presuming there is a file, if it wasn't turned over, if there are new leads. That's bureaucratic jujitsu, because if you never confirm the file exists, you never have to explain what's in it. And if you always wait for new credible material, you pretend the mountain of existing material is something.
So Cash sat up there on the Senate floor and kept saying, we going off of credible evidence. We going off of credible this, credible that. So again, I'm about to speed this up. They drop files every day. Let me show you how they drop files. Let me go to the DOJ Epstein. Let me show you how they drop files every day. So the U.S. Department of Justice, they literally are releasing Epstein files on their website every single day as an act of this transparency, right? This transparency act for the Epstein case, right? The Epstein files has its own page on the DOJ website that they update periodically, right? But niggas don't care about that. Niggas want to know if Diddy gay. Let's go to the Epstein library real quick. Let me show y'all how easy this is. You know, you can use the internet for something besides YouTube. Maybe one day it'll speed up. Hold up, bit. Can a nigga get in the DOJ? See, now the DOJ moving slow. All right, there it is. So, bam, look at this, the Epstein library, right? So you can go to the DOJ website, justice.com, justice.gov/Epstein. And you can search the full library that they are releasing day by day. Okay. So we got court records. We got the DOJ disclosure, including disclosures under the Epstein File Transparency Act, HR 4405. We got the Freedom of Information Act records. They got them housed in all these different, you know what I'm saying, different little venues. So you can go to the FOA or you can go to the DOJ disclosures. And then when you go there, you take your time. Epstein File Transparency Act, right? They released some files after that. They got the BOP footage. They got Ghislaine Maxwell's proffer agreement, right? They got the first phase of the declassified documents, right? Where Pam Bondi released a bunch of documents to them influencers. That's what Dosey was talking about in the chat earlier. When she released those little fake files and they was all shit we already seen before. Yeah, from 2/27/2025. Yeah, they got every fucking thing about this case because there's something called the Transparency Act that they had to abide by. Cash Patel came out and said there was no credible evidence, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 right? So I'm going to go to a video from my boy, Jew Almighty, right? I was gonna go to CoffeeZilla, but I do a lot of CoffeeZilla, so I want to promote some black creators. So because I want to promote some black creators, I do like to show my brothers who be putting in that good content. So I'm back on Jew Almighty. And remember yesterday when I told you he's growing fast, right? I said this shit yesterday. I say my dog is growing fast. I've been watching Jew for a minute, right? It's a bunch of niggas, it's a bunch of black creators that I watch. I'm watching these niggas grow fast. That's why I'm staying down. I'm not worried about the numbers if an album come in this bitch or they don't. I'm staying down. I'm not worried about that. So my nigga Jew Almighty, yesterday I told y'all he was at 74.8K. Today my dog is at 75.5. I told y'all he was well on his way to 75. He's over 75. My boy is on the way to 76 right now. That was just yesterday. So it's important to stay down, run your campaign. Don't be worried about the numbers. Don't be worried about what another nigga doing or what another nigga saying. Just run your race. I'm sure my nigga Jew seen other niggas' content and was like, man, I wish I could get the numbers like that. Right? So you got to just run your race. So I'm then gonna play this whole thing, right? I'm then gonna play this whole thing because I don't really. He did so much good commentary over this. I really don't have to say too much, right? But the point I'm making is, Kash Patel was on the Senate floor, and Kash Patel said, it was no such thing as co-conspirators, right? It's 10 co-conspirators in these emails, 10 co-conspirators. So when the nigga said Epstein was a lone trafficker and he only trafficked to himself, he lied on the Senate floor. And in these Epstein emails that got released, like I just said, over 10 co-conspirators was mentioned. Lex Wexner's name was blacked out. It was redacted. But it ended up niggas taking the files and putting them through the ringer, finding out, guess what? He was involved. Then they got a crazy story of Trump and a 13-year-old girl. They say Trump got the 13-year-old girl pregnant. Then they threw the baby off the fucking yacht. This is all in the documents. This is the FBI had this for years, at least since 2019. So what this shows is, and why niggas was like, why come they didn't want to release the documents? Is Trump in them? Yes, Trump is in them, but that's not the main reason why they didn't want to release them. It's because this shows incompetence and it shows corruption. Okay, they are the ones who arrested him. 2018, 2019, they arrested him. The case starts. They're reviewing all this case information and they choose not to prosecute nobody else but Ghislaine Maxwell. Then they come out and tell you there are no co-conspirators. Now we're finding out they botched this investigation. They had thousands of victims contacting them, giving them credible evidence, but they chose to sweep it under the rug because these people are their donors. These people work at Fox News. These people are politicians on the Senate floor. This is what this shit is about. This is why you can't get shit done, but everybody is sending drones to Iran and fucking bombing Venezuela. This is why. So let's let my brother Jew speak. Like I said, he done went from 74K. He on his way to 76. Working hard. Y'all go sub up. As you see, I'm already subbed. You feel me? Y'all go sub up. Let me like this video. Y'all make sure y'all sub up. Leave a comment. Say, shout out to you, brother. I just got introduced to your channel. Something like that. Say, let them know, keep doing up the good work.
Bill Clinton got impeached for a blowjob. Nixon resigned for what? What is it going to take for Trump to be impeached now that he has officially been revealed to be in the unredacted Epstein files? Like a lot.
The victim told this driver that she couldn't report Trump because, quote, they will kill me. In 2021, another victim said that Epstein told her girls who don't behave are fed to alligators, which could be alluding to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
After years of stonewalling at this point, Congress forced the DOJ to release the Epstein files. And technically they did because they released part of the Epstein files, which was heavily redacted, like 90%. Entire pages completely blacked out, names hidden, details erased, and they thought they won. But the internet did what the internet does. And online users quickly figured out ways around redaction or to undo the redaction.
I wrote 25 lines of code that can probably unredact all of the Epstein files in less than 30 seconds.
Whether that was going on the databases and typing in Trump's name with the space behind it because Trump's name without a space was blocked, to be able to see how many times his name is mentioned in the Epstein files, or using code or other software to export the redacted Epstein file into another software and it completely removes the redaction.
Oh, look at this pesky redaction. Let's just get rid of that.
And once that started happening, things got ugly quick. But for however bad people thought it would be when they finally got to see the Epstein files, it was much worse.
The unredacted Epstein files are getting even worse.
What'd they say?
Multiple files released all point the finger at Donald Trump. Girl reported that Trump and Epstein would pay her to do things to them when she was 13, and eventually she got pregnant. Her uncle was in on it too, so Trump and her uncle made sure the baby didn't make it.
Not to mention the way the Epstein files have been handled, denied, lied about.
None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
So I said to him, no, Nigel, not without the brie.
Indubitably.
And you are?
Oh, don't worry, I'm basically one of you now.
How did you get in here? This soiree is for fancy real estate investors only.
Okay, but I am a real estate investor.
But where's your vaguely British accent?
Yes, the accent a person gets from years of generational wealth.
I actually didn't grow up wealthy. In fact, I still rent. I rent and invest through Roots. It's the first real estate investment fund that builds wealth for investors and residents.
Do I have to rent to invest?
No, anyone can invest through Roots for as little as $100.
Oh, so the same as the price of a gallon of milk.
No, definitely not the price of milk.
I meant human milk.
Before Roots, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Yoink. Come on, did you have to say yoink? And while I was struggling to get ahead, my savings account just sat there, doing nothing, gaining 0.4% interest. I could gain more interest from my cat. Hey, Mr. Flophead. Hey, Mr. Flophead. Look, no. Come on. I thought I had to be like super rich to be able to grow my own money. Or take volatile risks like invest in cryptocurrency.
I lost my yacht to crypto.
Roots gives people like me the ability to participate in the real estate market, all while having a bigger impact on my wallet and the community.
I know real estate, and you won't be able to touch those returns for years. Even then, it all depends on selling and refinancing.
I mean, you probably have to wait years to withdraw your investment, but with Roots, I have liquidity options. I can withdraw part or all of my investment every 3 months. And yeah, now I say things like investment and liquidity. And since I love watching my investment grow, I'm not going to take my money out yet, but it's nice knowing I can.
Yes, I hate being told I can't do something. We'll see about that.
And I feel good about investment.
In the case file.
This has become a federal government-wide to protect Trump.
The FBI and DOJ are on the same page and say, well, there's millions of more files coming out. We're just like, wait a second. I thought the files used to be on Pan-Binance, and I saw, but there was nobody else that was a part of these files and no co-conspirators. All that shit is capped. So I need both of y'all in peace and in prison like that.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. We are governed by the dumbest people in America. You can literally unredact some of the files so easily.
I wrote 25 lines of code that can probably unredact all of the Epstein files in less than 30 seconds.
Really not that crazy. All it does is take a PDF and turns it into a Microsoft Word doc, because the Microsoft Word doc just completely removes all this black line right here. So took 0.2 seconds to do 2 documents. Before I end the video, I would just like to mention that I am not suicidal. I am a great swimmer, and I look forward to living my life well into my 80s.
I think we all know that this is probably the worst, most unqualified leadership we've ever had in the federal government, at least at one time. And they brought in a bunch of their own people that had no clue what they were doing, which is how you get stuff like this. The federal government sloppily redacting files and releasing them, not knowing that basically the file can be jailbroken and those unredactions can be moved in a bunch of different ways.
Oh, look at this pesky redaction. Let's just get rid of that.
That is insane.
This is what happens when you fire government.
A copy and paste into a Word document is insane. But like she's saying, that's what happens when you basically fire federal employees that know their jobs and how to do them and bring in incompetent people that are just loyalists. So I honestly don't know how much of this I'm even going to be able to put or say on YouTube and still keep this video monetized. I've had videos demonetized for absolutely nothing, let alone talking about the president and the Epstein files. But to basically sum up what was revealed in the Epstein files, there are two different situations of 13-year-old girls saying they were essayed by Donald Trump.
They saying bro was sleeping with a 13-year-old girl repeatedly, then impregnated her. Then these two went on a boat in Lake Michigan with that girl's uncle. She had the kid, then they threw the kid overboard. I'm just the messenger, son. I'm just saying what the files say. And this is a different case than the other case. And this one is a different from the other possible. That's two. And these are only 5% of the files released. And we already getting these type of stories. And they say there's millions more? Oh shit. Your boy's fucking cooked, son.
But I mean, you see this tweet. Defendant Trump initiated contact with plaintiff at 4 different parties. Plaintiff loudly pleaded with defendant Trump to stop, but with no effect.
The unredacted Epstein files are getting even worse.
What'd they say?
Multiple files released all point the finger at Donald Trump. Girl reported that Trump and Epstein would pay her to do things to them. She was 13 and eventually she got pregnant. Her uncle was in on it too, so Trump and her uncle made sure the baby didn't make it. So her uncle threw her baby into the river. And Trump was there as it happened.
Why wasn't this released in the first version?
Pam Bondi illegally released the Epstein files with redacted versions and tried to cover everything up, but then people learned how to unredact them. The files that are getting stated right now are coming straight from the DOJ and FBI's files. Right off of their website, which they took down when they learned they accidentally had it. There's also a driver for Trump who a woman ran into. The driver was telling her stories about Trump and she said he did things to me when I was 13. So the driver told her to report it to the FBI, but she said I can't because he'll kill me if I do. But then she called the FBI anyway.
Why wasn't the FBI doing anything about it?
Well, here's the crazy thing. When the girl told the driver the story, she had a friend in the car too. And the next time the friend saw the driver asked where she was, and her friend said that she was found alive by a gun wound. Giving the FBI no further leads on this case, which actually ties back to Katie Johnson, who sued Trump for when she was 13. And Katie Johnson claimed the same story, but never showed up to court after suing Trump and disappeared, and her lawyers never heard from her again either.
And still nothing is happening. America is done. I have lost faith. It's just sickening. Again, when you put in context that Bill Clinton was impeached for having sexual relations, and I guess lying about it, with a full-grown consenting adult. But you have all of these documents coming directly from the government, from the FBI, from Department of Justice, which they've had in their possession, listing all of these sick and depraved allegations, and nothing is happening. It makes you just aware of how twisted and sick of a timeline that we're in. Not to mention, there are people in MAGA actually defending Trump and acting like they don't care what comes out. He children, had them and staged their deaths. And this is how I kind of feel, and I think this is how a lot of people feel about this. With something so terrible being made public, how can Donald Trump, Kash Patel, Bondi, all of the people that were covering this up for him not be facing immediate and severe consequences right now? How can they still be in their public offices? Genuinely so depressing that nothing will come from this. He will face 0 consequences for this. He's going to face consequences. I think they're all going to face consequences because eventually Democrats will come back into power. They will eventually have the House again. They will have the presidency. These people will pay for the things that they've done and covered up, just like the Nazis had to pay for their sins eventually. But with all that's happening, all these documents being unredacted and finally seeing the light of day, and these atrocious details of what Trump is being accused of have come out, Trump basically went in panic mode over Christmas, tweeted a whole bunch of stuff about the Epstein files, went back to calling it a Democratic hoax because remember, at one time it wasn't real, it didn't exist at all. They've changed their story so many times about this. But basically, he's had a non-stop crash out online about the Epstein files and even bombed Nigeria to try to take our attentions off of what's coming out right now. From the President of the United States, Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who love Jeffrey Epstein. You gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties. You? He must have been tweeting this looking in the mirror and thought he was the greatest guy on earth. Trump was said to be Epstein's best friend, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person. Trump did all of those things. And then blame, of course, President President Donald J. Trump, who actually was the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. Such a weird thing to tweet on Christmas Day. When their names get brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican Massey, and it is revealed that they are Democrats, there will be a lot of explaining to do. The main Democrat that's been named in the Epstein files is Bill Clinton, who has said publicly multiple times that he's fine with releasing the full Epstein files so that the victims get justice. Trump is the only one against releasing the Epstein files, even going so far refusing to admit that they were even real.
Donald Trump just sent out yet another unhinged holiday post about the Epstein files, and I want you all to say it with me. The Epstein files are the largest cover-up since Nixon's Watergate, even larger than Nixon's Watergate in size, scope, scale, and urgency. I mean, we have multiple government departments, from the FBI to the DOJ to Donald Trump's own executive circle, all working in unison to cover up the Epstein files and protect the Epstein class. Yashar Ali says, President Trump once again refers to the Epstein files as a, quote, democratic hoax, which in and of itself is disgusting. He's politicizing it too unique.
So again, let's follow the timeline. And this is just update. This is an update one. I'm updating tomorrow too. I got this was like a on the fly. I did all of this. I came up with this concept last night right before I went to bed. But for part two, I got more shit on my Twitter that I got actual emails, that redacted emails. I'm gonna read emails on my live stream tomorrow. We're gonna go email through. I'm gonna read through about 5 or 6 emails. Right, I'm gonna get all into the weeds with this TrumStein file shit. But I wanted to play. I'm gonna let Juju keep going. But Cass Patel said there was no credible evidence for co-conspiracy, and yet all the names that's redacted is people who could be potentially co-conspirators. They barely redacting victim names to the point where victims had to complain that their names was not redacted. So, like I said, let me finish it. I'm rolling up right now. I'm gonna go put my son pants on. We're gonna go in the backyard and I'm gonna talk about some trades.
Degree. The reason the Epstein files matter, it's such a major issue, is because Trump's top ass made it so during the campaign and promised that the files would be released. I mean, the reason that it really matters is because we want the survivors to have clarity. We want them to have justice. But at the end of the day, Trump is the one. His campaign was the one that promised to release the files. So Trump then says, the day after Christmas, quote, now 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud? Okay, so Epstein is a hoax in Donald Trump's eyes. Meanwhile, election fraud is something that is very serious and urgent, and apparently there's widespread proof of in Trump's eyes. There's no proof of this whatsoever. This exclusive from CNN says the DOJ is scrambling. The Justice Department's leadership has asked career prosecutors in Florida to volunteer over the next several days to help redact the Epstein files in the Trump admin's latest push towards releasing hundreds of thousands of photos, even though they have already broken the 2 criteria that they were supposed to follow. The 2 criteria were this: release all of the files on the 30-day deadline, and all of the files need to have reasonable redactions. Well, they didn't release all of the files. They released like 30% of them, if that, and the redactions were not reasonable. We had hundreds of pages fully blacked out. Meanwhile, some victims' names were still left there. It is insane. It's also really weird that in Trump's Christmas post yesterday, he ended it off with, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. President DJT. I'm not even making this up. Look at the last line here says, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. President DJT. Why is our president sending us threatening Christmas holiday messages? What the hell?
I've been saying this is the most unprofessional administration we've ever had. The vice president making no more white guilt speeches.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
To everybody just tweeting like they're on private accounts when they're tweeting from federal government accounts. That's what's known as the consciousness of guilt. This whole entire tweet was. The walls are closing in on Donald Trump and his corrupt criminal regime, and he is absolutely losing his mind. Merry Christmas. Epstein survived Driver reacts to Donald Trump's latest post about Jeffrey Epstein. Every accusation is a confession. Cheers. At this point, it is. Our miserable president is rage tweeting about Jeffrey Epstein on Christmas. He's calling it a Democrat hoax again and threatening lawmakers. Trump is 100% guilty. That is how guilty people act. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought this had to be fake, but it isn't. I don't even know what to say besides this man is completely, desperately insane and freaked out beyond anything that has ever scared him before. To do this on Christmas is 100 times crazier. Holy moly. Right, and again, if we're talking about who attended Jeffrey Epstein parties, it would be Trump, and we've all known that. Tweeting about attending Jeffrey Epstein parties when you are at his parties on film, grabbing women, touching them up, kissing them, pointing at them with Jeffrey Epstein next to you, all of that is crazy work. This is our president. Oh my. Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, just confirmed to me that he did, in fact, send this report to the FBI in February 2023, declaring his belief that Donald Trump authorized the murder of Jeffrey. So there's nothing fake or hoax about this. If people that are alive are confirming that this documentation is 100% real and genuine, and they did say these things. And going back to the story about this woman named Dusty, this is real. This actually happened. The mainstream media won't report it because it's basically owned by Peter Thiel and other oligarchs. That's what our billionaires are at this point. They're just oligarchs. And again, it's telling the story of a woman whose death was ruled suicide after she confessed to somebody that she did speak to the FBI about being by Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Dispose of body next to the president's name. The White House has now taken over social media accounts of the DOJ to protect him. Asking MAGA and Republicans, when is it enough? Why are you silent? Crazy that this cult around MAGA and Trump is so strong. Because why would you back or support anybody that had any of these allegations to their names? Everybody who voted for Trump should be the ones up in arms right now. That they got betrayed, that they got sold snake oil by a con man. But instead, they're just gonna double down. They're just gonna dig their heels in and support Trump no matter what. He's gonna have to be taken out the White House in handcuffs with video evidence of things that he's done in order for them to ever believe any of this is real or admit it. The new documents that Congress has forced the Justice Department to release make one thing clear. We are witnessing a criminal White House cover-up. White House, FBI, DOJ. This is a federal-wide cover-up at this point. We are witnessing a criminal cover-up by the White House unfolding in real time. For months, Trump refused to release the Epstein files. Now he's working alongside Pam Bondi to defy Congress and break the law. His cronies have shown that they will go to any length to protect Trump. They all need to be arrested and prosecuted. And I hope they will be once the power shifts and norms are restored. This is one of the biggest corruption scandals in U.S. history, bigger than Watergate 100 times. Nixon wasn't accused of gripping or killing anybody, let alone multiple cases of that. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to be in jail. So Kash Patel lied under oath. That's a crime. Earlier this year, Kash Patel testified under oath that internal files contain no credible information. Epstein trafficked young women to anyone other than himself. Today, Department of Justice released internal emails referring to 10 co-conspirators, which immediately
That's where I'm at with it, right? So we about to go back outside. I'm about to pivot a little bit off this Epstein conversation. But this is very pertinent. Watch this. He said there was no co-conspirators. In his emails, there's listed as 10 co-conspirators. One of them was already accidentally redacted. We know it's Les Wexner. We've already felt like Les Wexner was a co-conspirator, but more ties is revealed in these emails just exactly how entrenched Jeffrey Epstein was in the Les Wexner estate. Les Wexner was the owner, the CEO of Victoria's Secret, right? He's the one who gifted Epstein his mansion for $1. He gave Epstein like $175 million or some shit like that for tax advice. Like Les Wexner is a co-conspirator. His name was always out there. He's one of the richest people in Ohio, but somehow he wasn't prosecuted. Leon Black, also one of the richest people in this. Name got accidentally unredacted. He has not been prosecuted. Those are 2 of the so-called 10. We have 8 more alleged co-conspirators that we're waiting to see the names of. But you said there was not. Like I said, I'm going to get into the whole thing tomorrow where I'm going to have files, and I got clips of Kash Patel saying certain things. I got clips of Pam Bondi saying certain stuff. I'm going to play all this shit. Pam Bondi said it was millions of files. Then she said the files was a hoax. Kash Patel said it wasn't no conspiracy. he trafficked all these people by himself, and then we find out he never looked at the files, and there was co-conspirators. So I'm gonna put all this shit out there because I got Cash Patel fatigue, right? So I need to put this shit on blast, right? I need to contribute because everybody else contributing, right? But I got something I'm about to go outside. I got my J rolled up. We nice and, you know what I'm saying, ready to go. So we're gonna play about 30 more. How much more we got of this on my dog Jew? Make sure y'all sub up to Jew. We got 2 minutes left. Make sure y'all go over there, sub up to Jew Almighty right now. And when I come back, I'm gonna change the topic real quick. Yeah, so Trump fired federal employees before the evidence came out on purpose. Type shit. All the best workers, they got rid of them, and then they recruited all of the Trump lackeys. Everybody who's in administration now is a Trump lackey who will do anything that Trump say. Do anything for Trump. Do anything for Trump. Do anything for Trump. Type niggas. So, but let me let Jew finish so we can pivot.
That's a crime. Earlier this year, Cash Patel testified under oath that internal files contain no credible information. Epstein trafficked young women to anyone. So, today, Department of Justice released internal emails referring to 10 co-conspirators, which immediately contradicts Cash Patel.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein?
Florida's property taxes are too high. Rent is going up. And government just keeps spending more. Cut property taxes now and give people the break they deserve.
Being a pro doesn't start lights. It starts in the kitchen. Where
these young women too, besides himself.
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
In the case file.
And it keeps going. The FBI paid nearly $1 million in overtime to redact Epstein files. Documents show Donald Trump is so guilty. They're paying $1 million in overtime to redact files, which, like I said, was like 90% redacted. Entire pages just blacked out with no justification, just to protect Trump. Jeffrey Epstein wrote a letter to Larry Nassar before committing saying our president shares our love of young nubile girls. Nubile is. Words can't explain how fucking wild this headline is. Got two of the most high profile in recent American history writing jail letters just saying he's just like us for real while he was in office. Insane that this president still, keep in mind, this is only a portion, like I think 15 to 20%, maybe 30% of the files that have been released, meaning there are millions more pages that have to come out because Congress is forcing them to release it. The fact that no Republicans can admit how bad this is, can see how bad this is, that are willing to stand up and say, I don't want this man to be my president, and cross the aisle to get a simple majority of votes to impeach Donald Trump. Keep in mind, impeaching isn't even the same as convicting. Just impeaching him would at least say that you understand that this is wrong and you are on the right side of history. But MAGA Republicans, they won't do it. They will continue to defend him, turn
All right, let me I got a transition. Let me play this music and then I'm gonna mute up and go to the backyard. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. What I'm gonna do? Might as well do it this.
Got my name in his mouth once again. For every day you keep my name in your mouth, bitch, I'm dropping another song. Pussy, this shit easy. Nigga, this the real thing, nigga. You a bitch and you know that, pussy. 007 Guzman, bitch, I'm feeling just like James Bond. Change my name to NPM Dad, nigga, you my real son. I shouldn't have gave your bitch ass attention, nigga, but I'ma still respond. You can't even read and write, my nigga, how you supposed to correspond? These the type of niggas don't got shit except a name drop. I'm the only one keeping your old ass relevant like GameStop. You a bitch and you tryna hide your true colors like a paint shop. Nigga, you a lame and you fat and you corny. How many times I gotta tell you, nigga, you really just getting annoying. You don't never put in work, my nigga, you need to file for unemployment. Who the fuck you think you is, my nigga, you really not that important. Had to leave him in the past, had to leave a nigga right where I hadn't found him at. Old ass nigga washed up, that's why I call that boy a laundromat. And Graham Hancock called, nigga, he said he want his info back. I heard you produce breast milk, my nigga, you really fucking fat. You know you can't prove shit, nigga, you just a fat bitch. Feeling like future, cause nigga, ain't no way around it. Nigga, you talking spice, I'm getting the belt and gone and ground him. You better stay in your place, my nigga, if I put your ass on punishment. I think he an informant, my nigga, he working for the government. Think that nigga is cap as fuck, my nigga, he ain't even own shit. This the same nigga that got his YouTube channel taken down. This the same nigga that's buying views like it's going out of style. Nigga, you a fat dyke. Nigga, you better eat a Klondike. Nigga steady chasing clock cause he wanna be inside the limelight. All that nigga do is play Tyree Nasheed videos. All you do is chase clout, pussy and you been a hoe. Nigga always passing up on the debate, he think he Tony Romo. Nigga, you just a mouthpiece for the white man, I call him Andrew Cuomo. And I heard you a sloppy pseudo, nigga, tell me something I don't know. Nigga, you a bitch and I'm telling you that I been new. I don't give a fuck about you, nigga, I thought you knew that. That's why don't nobody come to your panels, nigga, you being washed up.
My fault, y'all. Mic check, mic check. I just had to transition. So yeah, as we saw, and like I said, I'm going into a deep dive on that tomorrow. This was just like a prequel. I got email redacted emails that I got on my Twitter that I got bookmarked that I want to go through individually, right? So I want to go through and look at all of the little shit they got going on. But right here on the screen, I got this a chart from earlier today. So again, like I said, I was successfully able to hit the numbers that I was looking to hit as far as my watch hours up. So now, you know, my next step is to get into the rhythm of the type of content that I want to create. So even then, like next week, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more sharp. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have my clips already prepackaged, right? So I'm gonna have them prepackaged and cut up the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get more into the actual content creation style and making sure I'm honing in on the craft work to try to make the streams as streamlined as possible. You get what I'm saying? So, but this right here, this is a setup from earlier. This is what I took a screenshot after I just got out. Really, it was another day where I could have made a fuck ton of money, right? But I woke up a little bit late this morning. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I woke up late, so by the time I woke up, some of this shit was kind of already in motion. So I didn't want to chase nothing. So I kind of had to wait, let it breathe a little bit, and then jump in and get some money when I needed to. But this was a breakout that I had been waiting for since yesterday. Yesterday was a slow day for me. I was doing a lot of selling when it came to the NASDAQ futures. And but I was waiting for the setup, right? It kept bouncing off of this resistance. And I'm like, man, if it breaks through and come back up, it's over with. I could see it happening, but I had to wait for it. I woke up, it had already started the breakout. So I had to sit back and kind of, like I said, pivot and get in when I could, right? I didn't want to just jump in there and get to chasing it, which I did chase it a little bit. And so it kind of fucked me up, right? I chased it for a minute. I was up like 120, and I went to chasing it. Then I was down like $90, and I ended up closing out. Oh, I think I closed out with like 125 on this trade. Ended up closing out the day with 139. So like I said, it was a slow day again today. But any day that you walk away, you know what I'm saying, green in the market, that's good. I don't want to leave. I don't want to overtrade my way into the red, right? So sometimes I got to take the pennies. Sometimes if I only made $30, I got to take that 30. Sometimes if I make 500-700, like today, there was no reason why I shouldn't have made 1100 today. Only reason I didn't was because I woke up like 30 minutes late and I didn't want to chase the line. Right? But I'm gonna break all this shit down like so it don't look like chicken scratch, right? But I had a setup, like I said, this we looking at the futures, right, for a NASDAQ. So what I like to do when I'm getting my setup ready, I like to look at the hour and the 30-minute, right? The 30-minute, all of these things that we represent when you see these candlesticks, this is just market action, right? Market execution. So every candlestick is depending on the time limit that you own. It's like an hour, or the candlestick is a day, or if I got the candlesticks on 30 minutes, each candlestick is a 30 minutes, right? So sometimes I'll put it on the hour chart, and that's how you keep tabs. Like, so I got an hour chart above a 30-minute chart. So my hour chart I'll be looking at, I'll go through and I'm like, okay, for the past 24 hours, this how it's been looking. It's been maneuvering in a certain direction. And then I go and look at the 30-minute chart and see, okay, is it in the 30 minutes, is it moving against the total movement, or is it riding with the trend? And if it's going with the trend, then I sit and wait for an entry point, right? So that's what I do. So I sit around and wait for an entry point. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come. But today, like I said, I was a little bit late because I would have jumped in a long time ago. But by the time I got in, I don't know if niggas can see. Let me make it bigger. I don't know if folks can see the percentages and shit like that, as far as the what did I say, plus 50. When I got in, when I realized it that I was late to the game, it was like plus 21, plus 23. It shot up to like plus 7%, right? While it was on this little the one candle, all this happened in 1 30-minute candle, right? Why the fuck is my lighter taking forever to light too, though? Like, hold up, let me let me stand right there and try to light this. Doing too much. Yeah, I lost everybody now. Niggas like, oh hell no, fuck that. You ain't talking about elbows, you ain't talking about drama. Nigga lost everybody. It's all good though. Like I said, I'm gonna pay my once I get to 500 subs. I might even do it before then, because I also test. It's not like I got to wait, but I was just trying to see if I could apply for monetization without using Google AdSense dollars, right? Because I don't want to have to pay $500 to get monetized, but I will. You know what I'm saying? I will. I recognize the sectors that I'm in. These sectors are anti-intellectual sectors. So when you get to talking intellectual and they get to making too much sense, niggas get to leaving. So again, so hold on. Damn, this shit is really not like, what's up with my lighter, bro? It seems like when it get cold outside, the lighter get a mind of his own. It seems like when it get cold, niggas get a mind of their own. Yeah, Timmy, like I know niggas like you will stay down because you know you already said you was interested in trading, so you probably have already looked into some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You already looked into some of this. So for that, like I know, and I know you're, because you know it's real. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people they haven't seen but so much in their life, so a lot of this shit seems far fetched. It seems unbelievable. Niggas don't even believe I made 139 this morning. Niggas think I'm just a homeless nigga who be delivering packages and shit like that. You feel me? Yeah, that's how I think I'm gonna end up. That's how I think it's gonna be for a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get, that's why I need to get my clip game good. So when I drop the regular videos, I can make sure they do numbers and the live streams will catch up. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this right here, this was a future play that I sat on. I sat on for a little minute, right? So, and like I said, this what we looking at. Sometimes nigga might be looking at the chart like, what is this? Like, what does the H mean? What L mean? What does the O mean? What is these percentages? Like all that type of shit. That shit used to confuse a nigga. But once I realized what it was, that shit helps you to read the chart better. Right? So I'm gonna break down real quick the OH, the L, and the C, right? I'm gonna break all that shit down real quick. So, like I already gave you the reasons for how I'm entering, right? I usually like to look at the hour. I look at the day chart that started off. Yeah, Ogun. Hey, Ogun, that's all facts too, though. That's like no cap. Niggas love the money on, right? But that was facts though. That's why I'm like, I could have made a whole bunch of money today, but only left with 130. Right? But it's so much money on the table every day. So much money on the table every single day. That's why I'm about to explain with this OH and this L and this C. Niggas will see when they, okay, Lucky walked away with 139. He only entered here, he only exited there. But you'll see, oh damn, Luck could have hit for like 1,300 today. It's all about timing, you know what I'm saying? And the breakout. So I went with the momentum play. That's all trade on a breakout is you ride with the momentum. You don't have to like outsmart the chart. I don't try to outsmart the chart. I go where the chart is going. It's all like sport related, bro. You take what the defense gives you. If they playing in a 2-3 zone, put all your best shooters in and shoot them niggas out the gym. If they playing man to man, we're going ISO and I'm going to the basket. Right? It just, you got to take what the defense gives you. So sometimes it'll be a day where it's a lot of up and down. And I just got to take what the defense give me. Nigga, if they moving left, I got to go left. If they too choppy, I got to take what I can take and get out. It's when niggas get to losing money when they try to go against the grain. Don't go against the grain, nigga, ride the train. You feel me? Don't go against the grain, ride the train. So when you see the big green candles and they closing out near the high, right? That's explaining the momentum being long, right? The momentum being long versus short. So when the candlestick is extendo green like that, you know, like I said, it's closing out high. It's a lot of momentum to the long side. Okay, it's exact opposite with the red candles. If you got a long red candle, that means all the momentum is exploding to the south. All the momentum is exploding in the realm of a short, right? A short call. So, right, basically the chart that you're showing a strong uptrend, right? So basically, hold on, let me I can't really zoom in on that bit like that. But like there's like a Q, you see the Q, you see the H, you see the L, you see the C, right? So just to break the letters down for you, the O would be like the opening price, like when the candle came in, that's what it opened at, right? All these numbers is relevant for you to make your point, or for you to recognize if you want to jump in or not. So, right, when the open, when you're looking at the open, right, and the example here, let me look at that bit. What did it say? 25,649. So okay, what's it say? Does that say 49 or 29? 25. I can't see it. Let's say it's 25,629, right? So it opened there at the beginning of the 30 hour, the hour block and the 30-minute block, right? So the H, which is right next to it, you'll see the H is the high. So you got to recognize what it opens at, what's the high and what's the low, right? Them is all important into making your play. So once I recognize what's the high, right, I understand you know what I'm saying, where the strong bias is at. And it also puts into place what a quote unquote resistance is at, or where the ability to go the opposite direction in which you're trying to make it go, or you're trying to hope for it to go. Right. So that's why it's important to recognize the highs and the lows in this shit. It's just sometimes niggas just see that and they just see numbers on the screen. What that is, blah 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 and shit like that. But them just highs and lows. You feel me? Them is just highs and lows. You know what I'm saying? The seller pushing the price down. It'll show you where the aggressive sellers is at, and where, like I said, the support is setting up at. You got to know what the C is too, because that's important. You want to know where the candle closes at. You want to know where the candle opens at. You want to know the high of the day, and you want to know the low of the day. If you understand the high of the day versus the low of the day in relativity to where it is currently in its opening, its closing statement, then that'll give you a good understanding of if you want to get in on the long or you want to get in on the short, right? That's how I play this. I don't use no indicators. I use the common logic, and I use my indicators is the traders. I'm using the literal trading. I'm using the candles. I'm just. It's called naked trading, right? I don't get all into the different stuff, because that stuff will take me off of what I feel like I'm already knowing, right? When you go to using indicators and shit like that, some niggas are maximized and know how to use all the indicators, but me, I'm not. I haven't got to that point yet. I'm a naked trader. The indicators throw me off from what my naked eye already seeing. It'll make me believe in some shit that's going against what I think I'm already knowing, and it'll have me second guessing trading. You don't know when to second guess when you trade. You don't never want to do that, right? So, and the percentage, right? So when you see the 51, so back when I was saying like I got in late, so that percentage, I'm on the 30-minute candle when I'm talking like that. So on the 30-minute candle, I'm seeing when I think it was like plus 20 something percent. That's a lot of movement on the candlestick for a 30-minute transaction. So I'm sitting there like, man, I can't get in too late on a upswing and move. I could get, you know what I'm saying, stopped out. So I was kind of nervous. I was kind of pitter-paddling around if I was gonna get in or not. So I got in on the micros, right? I got in on the micros first. I like to test the water with the micros before I come in on the macro, right? The micro units kind of is like my test run. Like I said, I keep the micro up with the macro. So when I look at that shit in the macro, I'm like, all right, the micro, I just placed a trade and I'm up $13. So if I'm up 13 on this, let me wait for it to retrace, and I'm gonna go in on the macro, and then that $13, you know what I'm saying, it'll be $125 on the macro, or it'll be $130 on the macro or whatever. So I do my little setup, bim. So I walk away. Like I said, I ended up walking away with like 125, but I had to wait it out. Yeah, it's a bigger book. It's called the Naked Trader was the book I read. It was a free PDF a nigga gave me. I had bought into a trade group in 2014. I had paid $500 to be a part of some fake fucking MLM scam. It was like I don't know if niggas heard of, damn, what's the name of this shit? It started with an M. It was like, fuck, I can't even think of the name of it. But it was like the nigga Drewski did a skit about it, right? About the nigga, the Forex niggas, they all buy into a group. Don't nobody know really how to trade. Everybody is on paper trading accounts. I mean, everybody is on copy trade accounts, and they goddamn faking it till you make it. But the whole play is to just get people to sign up underneath you on the umbrella scheme. I mean, on the pyramid scheme shit. So I had got caught up in one of those where I had paid a nigga $500, and they gave me a booklet of information that was free. I had got Moore's paperwork scanned before I even met a Moore type shit. Like, I bought the packages, and in the package they had information that was readily available to the public for free. I had got a free copy of the Naked Trader PDF. They had gave a nigga access to a Facebook group where they was all sitting in the Facebook group talking. The Facebook group was probably the best thing that they added me to, because that showed me that these niggas wasn't really trading. They was just all using demo accounts. It showed me, okay, these niggas demo trading. They don't really know how to trade. and it showed me the power of like multiple people, you know what I'm saying, putting their minds together and shit. So I'm seeing a couple people that's in the chat that actually is trading, and I'm seeing the people who's trying to fake it and kick it with them, but they on the demo. So it put me into that realm of, oh, okay, we got fake it till you make it niggas out here on the trading shit too. And so I'm in that Facebook group, I'm knowing it's all cap, knowing it's all fake, but I'm trying to soak up as much game as I can. And so the best thing I got from it, like I said, was that little interaction. And man, somebody get that shit together. And between that interaction and the naked trader was great for me, right? So if you can find the naked trader, it's a great book. I think that was the best thing in the game for me at the time. You feel me? It's the best thing in the game for me at the time. So I sat back, I waited it for it to retrace just enough where I felt comfortable. I watched it shoot from like 26 all the way up to like what did I take the screenshot at? 56, which was 0.23%. So I seen it retrace from like 0.7 all the way up to 0.2, and then it was like retracing. It was like down in like the 0.15. So I think that's like 30% or some shit like that. So it was like at that range. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try to get in and get out real quick. I don't need that many. I'm just trying to, like I said, I really just trying to hit for 300. I be trying to hit every day between 300 and 600. That's why I said I'm a scalper. So I'm sitting back and I couldn't wait it out today. Like I said, I had already came into a trade and then I was down like, I can't remember if I was down 80 or I was down like 100 and something. It was something where I looked up, I was in the red, so I had to claw myself out the red, and I ended up being up 139 for the day. So I was like, I'm just walking out. I really probably did generate over 300, but I was in the negatives trying to chase myself out of it. But the nigga, I don't take no extra risk with this future shit. I'm literally, like I said, I'm breakout trading. That's all I'm with. And tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing. I like to follow the NASDAQ when it comes to the futures. And then on my Forex shit, I don't do too much Forex. But when I do, I just stare at the DXY, figure out what the DXY is doing. And then I go over to UJ, which is USD/JPY. And then I'll make my plays over there. But I really only stay on one or two at a time. So I'm locked in right now on the NASDAQ. So that's what I'm focusing on, right? Until I have a bad month or a bad week with the NASDAQ, then I'll pivot. Shit like that. Might pivot to the Russell or some shit. But I'm trying to slowly work my way up. I seen Not a Coincidence doing some shit that I ain't even know about. So I'm trying to kind of work my way through this shit. I'm trying to get my option game up and all of that. You know what I mean? So this was a literal screenshot from earlier this morning. You know what I'm saying? A literal screenshot from earlier this morning. Nothing too crazy. And so let me see if I can what's it looking at right now? Let me look at it right now. Just to put it into my perspective, see what it's been doing since I left. I would assume it's still taking it. Ooh, so yeah, I got out just in time. So yeah, it done retrace a lot. So it's all the way down. I'm glad I got out when I did. So it's all the way down 25.7. So it's all the way down at 25.5. So I got out around 27. Let me take that down. What's the shit scrolling across the bottom? Let me take that away. I closed at 25.7. I closed at 25,714. I got in at 25,707 and closed at 25,714. It's right now at 25.5. So it done retraced quite a lot. So I'm glad I got up out of it when I got up out of it. It retraced a whole lot. Damn, what's up with this? That shit it retraced a bunch. But I just be scalping. And then I take this to whatever I can only withdraw every 14 days. And I have to have the firm that I work with, I have to have 5 profitable days. And they rate profitable days as making over $250. So certain days they don't count towards the checkout day. Like you got, like I said, you got to have 5 trading days, but it basically equates to I do it every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because I have like 3 or 4 days that I hit it in 1 week, and then the next week I end up hitting on it. You see what I'm saying? So like it'll be 2 or 3 days where I'll be done made 300 or 680, and then some days I only make 90, or some days I only make 130, or some days I only make 40, or I lose $80, and none of those days count. Because short. God damn, they keep kicking me out, bro. I'm gonna have to shut that bit down. They keep kicking the nigga out when I'm in the middle of trying to talk. I'm sitting outside trying to smoke on the Wi-Fi. That shit done kicked the nigga out. So I don't even know from how long a nigga was talking. Yeah, nigga have to. I think I'm gonna have to get me a mini PC for the backyard. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me a mini PC just strictly for me to take outside. I'm gonna spend like $150, $200 to grab me some little shit. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. I was just trying to say some little baby shit, right? 822 days, or no, I'm talking about 822 days. It's 816 or 815 days until the next Bitcoin halving. You feel me? So I would assume we got about 400 days, maybe 300 days where it's gonna be sideways action, where the market ain't gonna be too much momentum going on. So I assume this time next year it'll still be sideways, but about springtime next year's, so that would be, so we going into 2026 tomorrow. So springtime 2027, shit is gonna be bananas, right? I follow the cycles, I keep tabs on them, but the only thing that has kind of went against the grain with the cycle narratives has been the fact that Bitcoin reached a new all-time high while it was supposed to be in the bear market. But this is also, you know what I'm saying, during the whole little shit. So a lot of people feel like that was a fraudulent little move. Now the institutional money is into it. They trying to kind of keep the names or keep the numbers at bay. So some people said that they kind of did that to throw off the scale. Because like I said, this crypto space, they got influencers just like anywhere else. So they'll be talking about this shit and they'll be like, they was calling it, because the way the crypto cycle is, crypto is all based around Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin crashes, all the other cryptos crash. If Bitcoin surges, all the other cryptos surge. And Bitcoin usually is not tied to the NASDAQ, but here recently, when the NASDAQ go up, Bitcoin go up, because a lot of these ETFs and a lot of these companies, they have like 1-to-1 with Bitcoin and fucking stocks and shit like that. They be using that type of play, like Michael Saylor, you know what I'm saying? And what's the nigga name? Elon Musk. That's they play all the time. Here, Willie, tie your shoes. Let me tie your shoes. You gonna do the alphabet song? Hold up, bro. Finish tying this shoe. Yeah, I do the other one too. Hold up. Relax. All right, pick your foot up. Thank you, fam. All right. Let me see you go run, touch the gate. So yeah, so when I see that, I'm like, hold on, Willie. No, you cannot stand next to daddy right now. Oh, you playing number blocks. When did you download this game? Here, take this. We got 5 more minutes. Give daddy 5 more minutes. Daddy almost done. Daddy would have been done if his damn lighter was working. But yeah, so like I said, I would share my screen and talk about the chart with it up, but I'm outside. This laptop is not it. So I'm gonna have to get me a mini desktop, like a little mini PC to go in the backyard. I'll just keep it next to the sliding glass though. It's just, you know what I'm saying, do it, work like that when I go outside. Cause I be thinking this laptop gonna hold up, and some days it do, and some days it don't. And for like the past 3 days, every time I try to jump on and share my screen, that bitch will just crash. So I ain't even gonna play with them. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying, I'm watching the space and keeping tabs, and I wanna do that on the channel too. I wanna like review certain cryptos, review certain communities and shit like that, because it be drama over there too. I should start covering some of the drama too. That might be how I'd be able to get some of the crypto and trader niggas to come try to watch a nigga channel, because it be streamer dramas. It be like it was a whole little scandal back in 2022 who got sued? The Kardashians. All them people got sued during the last crash, right? FTX had got like Tom Brady, Steph Curry, who else? The Kardashians. Daddy got to cut it on. Daddy got it unplugged. You want to drive? Hang on. Daddy got it unplugged. I got you. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. All right. You good to go? He about to get his drive on. So yeah, so I'm I want to get back into, like I said, looking into the gyms, but I gotta be putting disclaimers on shit because during the last crash they had sued like the Kardashians and shit like that for advertising and promoting a crypto that was a scam. They was promoting a scam token or whatever. But she did a lot. There was something called ETH Max or Ethereum Max. She was a part of that scam. You know what I'm saying? Where they pay industry people to promote things, but the industry people don't tell them they're being paid to promote it. They just promoting it. And so because they just promoting it, it becomes a problem. Be careful, Willie. You know you barely can drive. You got to hit the button. Press the button. You scared to drive. He pump faking. But so yeah, so these institutions they was paying like FTX and Terra Luna, they were paying these different people to advertise and go live about it in the Twitter spaces and promote the brand. And then when they do that, it legitimizes the company. It causes FOMO. People get to invest in it and then they rug pull it. They just cash it out. So a lot of that shit was good though, but a lot of that shit got called out. And other influencers started calling out people and saying, well, such and such is getting paid to talk about this token. Such and such is getting paid to talk about this token. And that became a whole thing. It caused like wars in this crypto space where like the scammers was getting exposed and shit like that. So I really should get into covering some of that shit. I think that'll get some of my traction over here too. Right? Because we got the FTX fall where Sam Bankman-Fried and Almighty Research was very clearly betting against and helping all of these little things. What the play was is that FTX was like a crypto exchange. A crypto exchange is where you go to purchase, just like how on the screen right here. This is the exchange we're looking at. It's the same thing on the crypto side. So FTX, why you playing with the dirt? So FTX, they little exchange, they was running. Almeida Almeida was a research group. They was like a trading firm or whatever, so to speak. And so FTX, they was doing initial coin offerings on their platform, basically, like where they would get first, they would get like first dibs on knowing who was finna drop and saying which currencies they was finna legitimize, and they was trading and picking up on that and shorting certain things and purchasing certain things based on inside information due to the fact that they worked at FTX. They had like a back deal or whatever with the code where they could see both sides of the fence type shit. So they got exposed for shorting companies that they were invested in, but like they weren't really invested in them like that. That was a play. They would give them 30, 40, and then turn around and make $1 billion off of shorting them to the ground because everybody then invested in them, and then they done went to the shitter. They found out that the Terra Luna crash, where Terra Luna, which was like a big token that had its own little platform, and they had $1 stable coin. It was called USD. I think it was called UST. No, it was like what the fuck was it? I can't even remember what it was. I never had Terra Luna. I never had FTX because they looked like scams. I told niggas with my credential or with my where I needed to go to, what boxes to check. You needed to follow some type of guidelines. You needed to have a wallet. If I'm looking for an exchange, I'm looking for an exchange that I can use like a fucking bank. If I can't find one, I wasn't comfortable with it. So that's why I ended up going with the one I went with, which was crypto.com. But then when I got into my decentralized shit and I got on KuCoin, which is another exchange, I lowered my parameters, but I didn't put as much money in that account because I'm like, okay, this is a risky play. This is a risky venture. But it was only risky to me because they weren't in compliance with the U.S. regulations yet. It's not that they do anything wrong. I still feel like KuCoin is probably the best platform to trade on, but because they don't quote unquote follow the U.S. regulations, the U.S. technically you can't trade on that platform if you live in the U.S. So but they have the best setup for margin trading where you can get leverage for putting money over there. They got the best platform and the best algorithm that determines when to put and list a cryptocurrency, because a lot of these companies, they will list a cryptocurrency too late. Like by the time they list it on their platform, the price action already done happened on these decentralized exchanges where people can get access to the coin early. And by the time it'll go to Coinbase, or by the time it'll make it to Robinhood, it would have been already in the mainstream for 5, 6, 7, 8 months and gained all the momentum. And then the US was left holding the bag a lot of times with these coins, because they will get listed to the exchange hella late, right? Anybody who's trying to trade on Coinbase, you won't even see half of the coins that I'm invested in because they're not on Coinbase's ledger. They don't even put them on there. You know what I'm saying? Crypto.com as well. Crypto.com is a little bit better, but a lot of the shit on crypto.com, you know what I'm saying? You can, well, nah, crypto.com got a lot better. That now you'll find you some small ass cap gems and shit that ain't on Coinbase. But even still, it's like a strenuous process for them to clear your token to be able to be traded. And so KuCoin to me has that best, they got that best software, and they got that best system. They usually got good coins on there, and they get them on there early. So I like the KuCoin a lot. Like I said, you could do 5x margin, so you could sit around, you could put $1,000 in your account, and you could take a loan out and get, let's just say, take half of that, and you could just put your 1,000 in and turn that up into 3,500, because you done took a $2,500 loan out. So now you sitting there with 3,500, and you like, fuck it, I got this 3,500. I'm finna put it on, let's say Ethereum. Ethereum might be worth 3,500. You just go ahead and grab you one Ethereum real quick. You didn't have enough to grab you one Ethereum because you only had 1,000, but you took the loan out. You grabbed one Ethereum. Then bam, nigga, Ethereum for over the week, that bit go from 35 to 38 to, then bam, now you just took your little money out, pay that shit back. All right, bam, here go $300. I just made 300 off the loan. Now I'm finna get in somewhere else. That's how you do it, bam. So that's how a nigga do it on the when I be doing my shit. Oh yeah. So you said you finna be in if you finna be in Africa, yeah. KuCoin is the one. Coinbase is the one that everybody uses in America. Coinbase, everybody uses Coinbase and crypto.com, or they'll use Kraken. These are like let me give you some mainstream. Like the mainstream with everybody that go to is like the Kraken, Gemini, crypto.com. What I just said? I just said another one. I forgot it that fast because I don't fuck with them. But the ones I fuck with, only one I really fuck with is crypto. Oh, Coinbase. Coinbase, yeah. Coinbase got a debit card too. So I gotta give them their credit. I think Coinbase have a debit card and they got all that shit, but they just so slow to get on. They so slow to allow allow certain things to get in because of the regulations. Crypto.com is the one I use in America. But if I'm gonna be out the country, KuCoin, BitGet, and Bybit is 3 different exchanges that allow you to leverage trade, and you won't have to put too much money in there. You could just pop out with $500, get you a little leverage, or pop out with a band, put you a little leverage on it, and get to make it $200-300 a day, while at the same time dollar cost average. Because basically, like I'm doing, so it's like, okay, it's one token that I fuck with. It's called Render token. It was an AI token. I found out about it in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember, one of them summers. Right when the AI fever was happening. I think it was 23, I want to say. Right when the AI fever was happening. Nigga got on. I'm like, okay, I can't wait until KuCoin get. When KuCoin had got it, that shit was at like 70 something cent. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna load up on these, because if Render token hits $1, I'm gonna be up a band. So I loaded up on them bitches. I just loaded up on them because they was cheap. And when Render made it, Render long over $1. So when Render passed that threshold, I cashed out. You know what I'm saying? But I kept some render because I made like a lot of money off that shit. I made like 13. I probably made like 1300 if I would have took all the cash and out. But I only cashed out like $700-800, and I left the rest of that in render tokens. So I got a loan out because I'm like, this shit finna move up. And I took the money out from the profit and I kept some. So now I literally own render tokens now. That's all the way up from when I originally got them because of a trade that I made with the render tokens. So because I still got them, now they up. I just got that's just money over there. I can cash them out into a different token and use that to trade from time to time and then put it back in render tokens. I literally do that all the time. I do the same thing with like an XRP. With XRP, a nigga had, I don't know if I told the story already, but I had over 10,000 XRP originally. I had like 13, 14,000 XRPs. I now only got like 1,800 XRP, but I used to have over 10,000. You know what I'm saying? From trading it, I trade because it was so consistent in the maneuvering. So it'll be like, okay, if I just get 5,000 of them bitches and the 5,000 move 20 cent, I cash that out. So I was doing that every day. Like, oh, let that bitch move 50 cent. I'm cashing out my 5,000, swapping them out, just growing my little stash. And then I got fucked over one day on that stupid ass on KuCoin because I didn't have a stop loss open and it wicked on me on some bogus shit. And after that, I lost so many of my fucking XRPs. I just really stopped trading XRP and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just, since I already made that, I'm gonna just leave that over there. And certain things that I'm just holding until I'm ready to cash them out, it's gotta be like, I feel like I'm gonna cash out 27 or maybe 2030, right? On certain things. But a lot of that shit I might hold even longer. It's certain things I done had since 2021. It's tokens I've had since 2021. Like Polygon. So Polygon, I just finally got rid of my Polygon tokens, also known as Matic. Polygon was one of my favorite tokens originally, and I still use the Polygon bridge, which is why it took me so long to relinquish all my tokens, because it's like I still use Polygon. I could still see Polygon coming back around. But Polygon was one of the ones at the time when I got in on it. I'd be having little different things like, oh, if this thing could reach $1, if this one could reach 10 bands. I mean, if this one could reach $10, if this one could reach 50 cents, if this one could reach a penny, all them different things. I'm basing all that off of market cap, how many tokens that you got in circulation, and how many tokens have been created. So if you only got a certain amount of tokens in circulation, I know you can't flood the tokens on the back half when the price go up, and then all of a sudden now everybody left holding a little token. I know you can't flood it and, you know what I'm saying, what they call inflate the crypto, because that's what happens a lot of times when you don't pay attention to the tokens. You don't know how many tokens of a product you purchasing, then you'll see the price go up, and then all of a sudden 5 months later a whole bunch of tokens get dumped on the market, causing inflation. And then now the shit that you was owning, because it's now extra 4 million of them or extra 4 billion of them, now your price of your token done went down. So a lot of times like that, nigga, that's how niggas get killed. They'll invest in some shit that's got way too many tokens. Like, that's why I don't do the fucking meme coin shit, like the Doges and the Shiba Inus and shit like that, because the supply is way too big. Those are a little bit better, but like a lot of the meme tokens, they supply be crazy. So by the time they distribute all the tokens, it'll never reach $1 because it's 5 trillion tokens. So you're gonna have to have a 5 trillion market cap for every dollar to equal out to that token. You see what I'm saying? So I pay attention to the market cap and how many tokens is in the supply chain. So with Polygon fit right into my math. It was like a top 15 product or top 20 product at the time. It had like a $1 billion market cap, and it wasn't flooding the market with its tokens. So the token itself, when I bought in a Polygon, I bought in a Polygon at like 7 cents. I bought in a Polygon at like 7 cents. It was either 7 or like 8 cents. Polygon, it was around It was around the same time I got into crypto, like crypto.com shit, right? Polygon was one of my very first bags that made me some money on. Like I love Polygon. That's why, like I said, that's why it was so hard for me to get rid of it, because when I got it, it was so cheap. So I had a bunch of it because I'm like, okay, I can't remember if I had, I don't know how much, I know I had over 10,000 of it, because I was doing this play where it's like, I'm trying to get 10,000 or something. I'm trying to get 1,000 or something. I'm trying to get 100 or something. I'm trying to get 1,000,000 or something. I need to have, you know what I'm saying, regular shit. And I wasn't the only nigga doing this. This was just like simple nigga logic. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going into these Twitters. I realized this once I was going into the Twitter spaces, but I was like, at the time, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm cracking the code. I'm feeling like I'm a genius when I'm doing this shit, right? Man, I get into the Twitter spaces. I'm having a conversation with niggas. They explaining my whole fucking logic. I'm like, oh, this is what everybody do. I'm like, nigga, I thought I was special, nigga. This is what everybody was thinking, nigga. Niggas like, all right, nigga, I can't afford fucking, like, my thought process to crypto.com tokens. The reason why I had an itch for crypto.com, like I said, they got a wallet, they got an exchange, they got their own token, and they big on the publicity. Only other thing I seen like that was Binance token, and Binance token at the time was like $250. So I'm like, I can't afford to go all the way in on Binance like I want, but I got Binance. Shout out to Binance. I got Binance from trading it, but I really wanted 100 Binance, because I'm like, bro, if I can get 100 Binances and that bitch go from $250 to 2 bands, I'm up 20. So I'm like, nigga, if I could just find a way to get 100, I'd be up 20. But then I had the same concept when I seen crypto.com's token. I think it was at like 4 cents or some shit. And I'm like, I'm looking at the market cap, I'm looking at the hype around it, and I'm seeing the use case behind it, because Binance is going through some some legality shit at the time, right? Everybody is telling the US don't fuck with Binance. So I'm like, damn, if they telling the US don't go Binance, that means the US gonna have to find another exchange. So I'm thinking, I'm betting on, okay, the US exchange, one of them gonna have to be crypto.com. So one of them was the 3 US exchanges that they funneled all the niggas to, who was used to be on Binance, was crypto.com, FTX, which crashed, and Coinbase. So that's where everybody at. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go FTX because it looked like a scam. So I went crypto.com. Crypto.com had a very small token supply, and their market cap was fat. They had like over $1 billion in market cap. So I'm like, okay, if these niggas, I think they had like 2 billion in market cap or some shit like that. So I'm like, okay, if this shit 4 cent right now, no, it wasn't even. I'm cap. I don't even think it was over $1 billion in market cap when I first got in. That's why a nigga was so excited, because I'm like, bro, if this shit ever hit like 5 billion in market cap, I'd be done 20x my shit. So I'm sitting back. That's how I'm looking at shit. So I need 10,000 of something that's 4 cent, or if it's 4 cent, I'm pretty sure I probably had like 50,000 of it, or 25,000 of it. Like I was trying to scale my shit up. I had one thing I had 1 million of, but it was like a shit token that ended up never coming into fruition. But I'm having different tiers, right? I call them low cap gem, mid tier gems. I'm calling them uh, institutional plays, and all of them I had a different approach to. Like I said, if it's a mainstream one that I feel like gonna go over 1,000, I need at least 100 of it. So I'm trying to multiply that 100 times 1,000. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if I feel like something is gonna eventually, when I look at the market cap, I look at the use case, and I see that the institutional money could maybe drive it up to a certain amount of time, I'm looking at, okay, bet, give me that. I'll take 10,000 of XRP, and if XRP ever hit $5, I'm up 50 bands. So that's how I was playing it in the beginning. But then when I coupled that with like the day trading of it, it blew a nigga account up. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the peak of this shit, I thought I was gonna be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So nigga done played with a lot. But like I said, to still be alive, to still have some, and to get into them Twitter spaces and to see other niggas who went through the same experiences. It was motherfuckers who was in the first one, was it when it took flight in like 2014 and nigga lost their whole bag but stayed down, and by 2017 nigga came back, nigga was up 150K, nigga starting Twitter panels and shit, going up, launching YouTube careers and shit, just because they been in the market for so long and they never sold they shit. So I'm learning and I'm seeing these niggas and I'm like, okay, don't worry about shit. Keep you some, spend this money that's coming, because you ain't never seen no money like this coming this fast before, but keep you some. And so through that process, a nigga learning and a nigga developing and blending the trading with the holding. And you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, like I said, I think this run I'm gonna be a millionaire. After this next bull run is over, I think I'm gonna be a millionaire based off of my mentality, the tokens that I already got, and my ability to accumulate more tokens with my strategy. Because my strategy does not even include me adding in money from my regular existence. My shit is coming with, like I said, holding shit that I traded and dollar cost averaging with the money that I made from trades on shit that I believe in. Because there are use cases, like I'm ranting, but like on the like with Polygon. Polygon is a layer 2 token. Layer 2 refers to like on the infrastructure of the Ethereum virtual machine, right? Because they use like you know what I'm saying, the market, all this shit is basically just like they call it Web 3.0. It's just the internet. So they call it an Ethereum virtual machine, right? And it causes like a lot of gas fees when niggas try to do transactions to do interact on the chain. And because it causes all these gas fees to interact on the chain, and all these different people, these middlemen are getting paid, like the node operators and all this type of shit. Because niggas be mad about gas fees. Well, people got to get paid to run the network. So because the network is up and running, people got to be compensated for that. So the node operators get paid and shit like that. But the gas fees, when a lot of people is on, it could take your whole transaction from you trying to send $20 to somebody and it costing you $25 to send it, to where they trying to charge you $80 to send 25 because of the network traffic, and there's so many people on there. So with Polygon was like on a subnet of the shit. They created what was called the layer 2 chains. So their gas fees was virtually nothing. It was like 30 cent, 10 cent type shit. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh yeah, niggas that want to use Ethereum, because this whole thing is like predicated around groups and collectivism. So these different cryptos, they have their own sectors. Each crypto that's big got its own sector. There's a Bitcoin sector. There's an Ethereum sector. There's a Cardano sector. There's a Solano sector. There's a Binance sector, right? All these different sectors, all the big ones, right? And the way that they exist is, like I said, from their community base, and people have to be building on the network. So Ethereum has the biggest community. Well, Bitcoin has the biggest community, but Ethereum has the second biggest community, and it has the most applications built on it. It's the most thing that people use to. It's like the standard, like how Apple is like the kind of standard for the phone. Ethereum is going there, right? Like everybody that's trying to build their software shit, they want it to be compatible with Ethereum's virtual machine. So all their language, their coding language, they use the Solidity language, which is the language of Ethereum, which is like TypeScript and fucking they mix like TypeScript and goddamn TypeScript, Python, and C#, and that's how they kind of create some shit called Solidity. So that'll be the language of the Ethereum virtual machine, and every Ethereum virtual machine token. So anything that's created with the Ethereum virtual machine, they'll use the same smart contracts as Ethereum, right? So that's what's gonna make Ethereum is an industry play. Ethereum is never gonna go anywhere because that's like the infrastructure that people is building their metaverses on. It's the infrastructure they're building their tokens on, and people are creating communities around that. And so that's what I was a part of. A lot of the intricate community building in a lot of these different spaces. So like Cardano, I'm tapped in. I got a lot of Cardano community members. I know a lot of developers over there who create stuff, you know what I'm saying, who do like tremendous work, you know what I'm saying, like real innovators over there. I know the founders of different tokens and different exchanges. I've been the first musician to put my shit in different places and sign different ventures and all that type of stuff. I was like at the groundwork for this shit. They was trying to use me as a model for some of the AI vocals before like niggas started dropping and now you can do your little AI records. They was trying to tell me, hey man, send us raw vocals. We gonna turn this into a Spanish record. We're gonna turn this into a French song. Send us the raw vocals, this and that. And I wasn't all the way locked in on AI at the time, and I felt like they was trying to come against a nigga craft. They was trying to take a nigga's flow and shit like that. I didn't want to give them my cadence or none of that. But they was trying to get me to train the AI. They was like, nigga told me literally, and he's like his shit ended up getting bought out by 11 Labs. The nigga wanted me, no cap. The nigga wanted me. He was like, you gonna be my like one of my tests. Like you can use this shit for free. I want you to help train this algorithm. Like nigga was gonna have a musician based algorithm where the musicians showing giving it songs, like giving it my lyrics, not typing lyrics, giving it my voice recorded and all this type of shit. And then it was supposed to be building and replicating and being able to help me to recreate my flows and my songs and shit without me recording. I was like, oh no, they trying to take niggas out the paint. They gonna take my shit, they gonna rework my shit, they gonna give it to some random ass white dude. He gonna be done blew up in Australia. I'm not doing that shit. So I press pause on them type of projects, but a lot of that other shit, I was in every space trying to gather all the information on it, right? But also that's important to do because I'm learning and seeing which ones is real communities and which tokens is really gonna be around, right? Because if I'm looking on this token on this ledger, and then I go into Twitter and nobody's talking about it and nobody ever heard of it, I'm not gonna fucking invest in it because it obviously don't have no community around it. So that's what I mean. Like these different sectors, they'll pop up, and so Polygon was in the Ethereum sector. Hey, don't put that in your mouth. That's nasty. Dirt, ill. Yeah, that's what you get. So Polygon, it's in the Ethereum. So anybody who uses Ethereum, they're probably gonna own some Polygon, and they'll be cool with giving somebody they money who fucks with Polygon. What I'm saying, they'll fuck with you, like they're willing to deal with projects or tokens that are on the Ethereum chain because a lot of their money is being used on Ethereum already, so they can only really use Ethereum chains and shit like that. All right, that's enough dirt. Let's go in the house. No more dirt. We're going in the house. You being silly. Hold on 1 second. You going right for the popsicles? I don't think so, fam. How you going right for the popsicles? Daddy did not authorize the popsicles right now. Hold on. No, he going for the ice cream sandwich. Look what you done started, babe. Now he going for the ice cream sandwiches. I'm gonna let your mama tell you no. I ain't gonna say nothing. All right, but I'm for going to get up out of here. It's your boy Luck, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Willie, we're not eating this sandwich, buddy. I can't let you do it. No, he talking about some ice cream. No ice cream. You just had some. And it's freaking 12 o'clock. I don't even know why your mama let you have this first ice cream sandwich. But I'm free get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Tomorrow it'll be a most streamlined. I'm gonna have some clips and I'm gonna have some actual emails I'm trying to get through. But I'm definitely not putting no Aboriginals in the title, so I'm not even expecting to see none of them niggas around. I'm expecting it to be bone dry. But I appreciate y'all locking in. I'm finna get up out of there. It's your boy Luck. Staying swift to keep from getting so I gotta go check these charts too. Cause I am not cool just walking away with 125 today. That shit was lame.
This bitch got my name in his mouth us again. For every day you keep my name in your mouth, bitch, I'm dropping another song. Pussy, this shit easy. Nigga, this the real thing, nigga. You a bitch and you know that, pussy. 007 Guzman, bitch, I'm feeling just like James Bond. Change my name to MPM Dad, nigga, you my real son. I shouldn't have gave your bitch ass attention, nigga, but I'ma still respond. You can't even read and write, my nigga, how you supposed to correspond? These the type of niggas don't got shit except a name drop. I'm the only one keeping your old ass relevant like GameStop. You a bitch and you tryna hide your true colors like a paint shop. Nigga, you a lame, and you fat, and you corny. How many times I gotta tell you, nigga, you really just getting annoying. You don't never put in work, my nigga, you need to file for unemployment. Who the fuck you think you is, my nigga, you really not that important. I had to leave him in the past, had to leave a nigga right where I hadn't found him at. Old ass nigga washed up, that's why I call that boy a laundromat. And Graham Hancock called, nigga, he said he want his info back. I heard you produce breast milk, my nigga, you really fucking fat. You know you can't prove shit, nigga, you just a fat bitch. Feeling like future, cause nigga, ain't no way around it. Nigga, you talking spice, I'm getting the belt and gone and ground him. You better stay in your place, my nigga, if I put your ass on punishment. I think he an informant, my nigga, he working for the government. Think that nigga is cap as fuck, my nigga, he ain't even own shit. This the same nigga that got his YouTube channel taken down. This the same nigga that's buying views like it's going out of style. Nigga, you a fat dyke. Nigga, you better eat a Klondike. Nigga steady chasing clock cause he wanna be inside the limelight. All that nigga do is play Tyree Nasheed videos. All you do is chase clout, pussy and you been a hoe. Nigga always passing up on the debate, he think he Tony Romo. Nigga, you just a mouthpiece for the white man, I call him Andrew Cuomo.